Vibe blowing at the J, got the loud jumping at the pay. Everything I'm on slay. Everything I do is got the Benz jumping at the bay. Vibe blowing at my J, got the loud jumping at the pay. Everything I'm on slay. Everything I do is got the Benz jumping at the bay. Another milestone, look at that. Paper boy, I'm a paper route till I'm 6 down on my back. I'm an old soul like my dad. My old girl's still a fan. And yo girl at the live show, so don't act like I ain't the man. I'm kicking my feet up, get frank like Aretha. I'm calm, but I'm teed up, just flip me a stack. The Rio just doubled up off of the muscle, I stuck to the task. They see me, I'm troubled, I'm bubbling up till it's stuck. And they want me to stay where I'm at. I'm good everywhere that I'm stepping, my presence is crucial. You know that this shit I don't trend. On a big wave, I'm controlling the tide. Snake eyes when you rolling the dice. So with the stakes inside, I can never take another nigga advice. They can't reach the sky, I'm aiming up high. Just wanna know what it's like. Y'all know what it's like, I come from outside of this. Out the quicksand, I'm the big man, doing big things. Cop a big change, up a state lines, doing stage dives on cam. It ain't no limit to my vision. Check the temp, I'm on fire with it. Got the bands jumping out the bag, Prosecco on ice. I'm nobody nice, gonna run up a check. Demand my respect, I'm doing the most. I never quit, they want me to quit. I'm good as it come, I'm good as it gets. Vibe blowing at the J, got the loud jumping at the pay. Everything I'm on slap. Everything I do is
and you're in the Desert Storm bunker with Hollywood CGA.
Yeah. Legends ain't born, they built from the grind. From benches to banners, we sharpen the mind. We sharpen the sword and promise and swore that we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Hey, yeah, we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Hey, yeah, we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Legends ain't born, they built from the grind. From benches to banners, we sharpen the mind. We sharpen the sword and promise and swore that we going hard and leaving it all on the floor.
What's going on, everybody? It is Coach Greg Adams back in here with another YouTube live stream. Shout out to the Coach Gang.
And that's you.
For being in here, being involved, and being active on this YouTube channel. And welcome back to the internationally known and the recognized symbol of YouTube excellence and entertainment. It is the Boss Up Show, part of the Free Agent Lifestyle podcast here on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. You in here with the Bruce Wayne of this ish. The king of kings, the king of content, and the speaker of truth. Yours truly, the notorious one,
new world order,
a.k.a. Mr. Coach Lena, better known as the prognosticator, Coach Stradamus. And you're in the Desert Storm bunker with Hollywood CGA, also known as EWF. That is every woman's fantasy in the whole fucking show. I'm the CEO, Niggero of Fixes Binds LLC, the unbinder, the undebatable, the undisputed best entertainment here on YouTube. You can call me Senor Gregorio Graybeard. The ladies love to call me Mr. Third.
Your third leg was
Greg.
just phenomenal.
Also, the man with one third by hole, that is the ecclesiastical Mitch Slapper. You're looking at the anointed one.
acknowledge me.
The founding father of the after pill, the junior college sociologist, the Morpheus of the mating matrix, the chocolate and Confucius, the Black Moses, the deliverer, also known as the man that ecclesiastically walks in the spirit of Elijah. I'm the man with more nicknames than anyone in the game. But in case you forget those names, just call me the benevolent monarch, the Lord of the Lings, James Bond, Malo Poppy, Hentai CGA, or you can just call me CGA, C God Allah, and I'm the reigning, defending, and undisputed 14-time demonetized champion of YouTube. We got a great show for you lined up today. You guys heard the breaking news from yesterday that Lena the Plug, adult film actress Lena the Plug, who was married to one Adam 22, who both of them engaged in some sort of cuckoldry or hot wifing recently in the past 3 or 4 years, Lena the Plug has filed for divorce. Not a surprise. Most people saw that coming. That's why they went solo. But I'm going to add an extra layer to this for the men who don't understand how relationships and marriages work. We're going to give you the background on this information related to Lena the Plug and one Jason. Jason is the guy's name is Jason Love and Adam 22, and what led to this impending divorce. Now, you guys have read this. You guys have seen many videos on this one. It actually went feral somewhere after I closed up yesterday's show. So a lot of people have had their opportunity to speak on this one. But as you guys know, I'm the man with the experience. I'm the man with the knowledge and the inside information on the relationships in the marriage marketplace and what typically happens in these marriages. Now, let's just give you the background detail really quickly here. Lena the Plug, I want to call her Lena or Lena, whatever her name is. She is an adult film actress, and she was an adult film actress before she met Adam 22. Adam 22 has engaged in being an adult actor himself, also running a podcast called No Jumper. And in the last few years, they engaged in a wife swap in which Adam 22 swapped his wife over to Jason Love, who is also an adult film actor himself, but he's an African American. Now, Adam 22 is a you-know-who-ish, and Lena the Plug is an Armenian Christian background information. Now, both of them and all three of these people have been in the industry already prior to this hot wifing or cuckoldry. So this is not a surprise. Both and all of these individuals have suspect characters. All right. So these aren't the most reputable people that we should be following in terms of dating and relationship, because all three of them have a foggy past. But a lot of people think that the end of the marriage was when Adam 22 allowed Lena the Plug to get plugged by Jason Love. That's not true. And I'm going to demonstrate that later on by explaining how dating, relationships, and marriages work. And this marriage was doomed well before Jason Love plugged Lena. All right. And I'm going to call her Lena and Lena. I'm going to exchange that back and forth. But this marriage was doomed well before that. And I'm going to explain to that later on in the show and break it down for Lena the Plug. All right. I do want to get her name right and put a little bit of respect on her name. And I'm going to tell you why it was doomed and how she hatched her escape plan from this particular wedding and this particular marriage, if you want to call it a marriage. Now, I know people, the manosphere talking points, which are lame. All right. The lame manosphere is always approaching it singularly. All right. Oh, well, he did this and he allowed this and it's not that simple. It's not that simple. But I'm going to explain this to you so you men cannot get caught off guard and how women detach themselves from marriage and relationships in the modern time. All right. There are steps to this, and there were steps being taken way before. So it took a few years for this to happen, for you to get your result, for you to get your vindication, for you to say, I told you so. But this marriage was over already. It was already over. And it was over well before Jason Love penetrated Lena the Plug. But we're going to cover that story at about the 2-hour mark and much, much more. How about black men and white women? All right. How about black men and white women? Since that's part of the show, we got
skinny black dude, big white girl. Skinny black dude, big white girl. Skinny black dude, white girl. Skinny black dude, big white girl.
All right. How many men like fat white women? All right, let's go. Put your hands up. Put your hands up if you like fat white women. Well, I got a good story today about a black man and a fat white woman. Like a moth to a flame. All right, I got a great story coming up here soon in Straggle and Sniggle Theater. All right, this is the combo of America. This is the combo of the South. All right, we got that coming up in today's show very soon. But to contribute to today's show, it is $ the notorious CGA on the Cash App, Venmo, Coach Greg Adams TV, PayPal is PayPal.me/Coach Greg Adams. And that is near the top of the description box on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. And you can super chat by clicking the link on the top of the live chat on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. And it is at the bottom of the live stream. YouTube changes everything. And sometimes I don't even put the stuff in the description box anymore. It was in there automatically, but it's not no more. All right. So y'all ain't donating. But what you can do is you can click those QR codes right there you see on the screen. And for anybody that wants to know why do I have QR codes on my screen? Coach, why do you have QR codes on the screen? Well, if you look at your analytics for any YouTuber out here, your analytics will tell you how people are watching you. How do people watch you, CGA? Well, my analytics has determined that a vast majority of people watch me on their mobile phone. You know what I mean? I'm an old man. I used to have to get out my iPad. I used to have to get out my laptop and watch you on the big desktop screen. That's how I watched my YouTube back in the day. When I started watching YouTube in 2006, it was right there on my desktop. All right. We didn't have smartphones and shit like this. We didn't have all of these apps and you can pull it up. So I became accustomed to watching my YouTube on the desktop. And I still somewhat do so because I'm editing and I'm multitasking. So I'll have something going on in the background over here on my desktop. But the majority of people watch me on the mobile phone. And you might say, CGA, a QR code doesn't help you if a person's watching on their mobile phone. Ah, ha, ha. Well, almost 20% of people watch me on YouTube TV. New world order. YouTube TV. Like, I mean, imagine that. Almost 20% of the people who watch me on live stream watch me on the big screen, like the old school days, like where we used to watch the Cosby Show. Yes. I mean, that's weird to me because I've rarely ever watched YouTube on my big screen. Although I do have the app on my Apple TV and all whatever these smart TVs. I do have the YouTube app. Every now and then I have to sign in to my YouTube. All right, but I rarely watch YouTube on the television. But people watching me and others on YouTube TV. So with that being said, a lot of times people who are watching on YouTube TV, they may not really have access to the comment section like that. You know what I mean? They don't got their laptop and they're not typing in comments and they're not doing that. So if I say the link is in the description box, the link is in the live chat, well, they don't have maybe access or good access to the links in the live chat. So what I have to do is I have to give access to those individuals so they can click the QR code on the screen, on their big screen, watching me in 4K or 1080p still on, StreamYard hasn't caught up. So they can just click right there and go right to their Cash App as they're watching me live. New world order. Yes, indeed. So I have to provide for those individuals too. Those 20%, 15 to 20% of people who watching me on the live chat. Watching me on the YouTube TV. Shout out to the YouTube TV out here. Somebody, Delta Fox was watching me on her Oculus Rift glasses. Do they still call it Oculus Rift? I mean, people were watching me on Oculus. I mean, shout out to the technology out here and the New World Order. So that's why I have those QR codes, because people watching me on the big screen out here. I'm Hollywood on the big screen. Anyway, shout out to our brother Miles says, Coach, I really enjoyed the avoiding the normie segment. He says, could you do a stream on that on the money mindset or in general? Because those are the hidden blue chips that no one sees. The avoiding the normies. All right. I'm going to have to put that out on Instagram, avoiding the normies. You guys got to figure out a way to get out of normies ways and let normies do what they do. All right. And try to not to involve yourself in the normie. All right, shout out to our brother No Government Name says, as a Gen Z Shield member that bought both of your books and read them, I think society hates your philosophy because it gives men the tools to free themselves and decide what they want with their eyes wide open, unapologetically. And it's true. I actually saw a debate, a little clip of a debate with Candace Owens. Is it Candace? Yeah, Candace Owens. I think that's what her name is, that old chocolatey black woman. All right, but a young Ling was just going off, and people don't realize she was going off talking about, well, we don't care about what these men think, and we, AKA feminism freed men. But what I'm what I understand of today's men is that they some angry ass niggas. These men are mad that these women are gone. They're still debating the same talking points since 2016 and the talking points that made Kevin Samuels famous. They still trying to hold women accountable. I just don't think men have grown up. Men have not grown up, and they've not have grown up properly in this space. They're still debating black women on submission. You these black women need to submit. Guys, these women are gone. Most of these women openly hate men. They hate them. And the women that don't hate men, they just use them as utilities. Like, you're just a useful tool. Now, there's some ways that you can, there's a ways you can get around this, but these guys are making content trying to trigger the men only to get these men that don't really want to boss up. These women are gone, bro. They gone. And if you don't realize that, I don't know what to tell you, man. Even if you engage in, even if a woman's willingly engaging in a relationship with you, she gone. And she been gone. And them streets are gonna be calling. It's unbelievable, man. But yeah, man. My philosophy tells men to just, open up and accept the reality, enjoy your life. But most men don't want that. They want a woman. I want a woman. I want a girl who's mine, all mine. I want a girl in my life. The manosphere has not matured and grown up at all. And it's sad to see. It's sad to see. I was like, dude, it had potential. The manosphere had potential, but it's gone. All right. You guys sound ridiculous now. Like I get it. Like, if you're new to the space and you're new to understanding women, yes, you have to go through that introductory phase of anger. You have to go through that phase. But the men that have been in this space for 8, 10, 12 years, and you've been listening to this and you haven't grown up yet, bro, I don't know what to tell you. There's no reason to be mad at women today. Okay. I saw a psychologist, and the psychologist said, it is women ruining America, right? Now, his point wasn't to hate women, but his point was that they've bitten too much into feminism, and that they're making choices that are selfish. And I'm like, someone wrote a book about that. Yeah, somebody wrote a book on that about 6-7 years ago. Yeah, it's a wrap. There's no changing it. We're not changing this. Guys, it's gone. Well, I'm gonna find a girl that's not like that. No. Shout out to Daniel McGee, says, continuing to boss up. Started my instrument flight rules, aka IFR training next week. One step closer to the commercial or corporate airlines. You better boss up out here. You better boss up, nigga. You better boss up. Shout out to you, man. Congratulations to Daniel McGee. I talked about you the other day. Congratulations. Okay, wow. I actually saw that. Shout out to Gaudio. I actually saw that. Again, he's giving me some about Cheyenne Bryant, and talking about she used to be a video vixen hoe. Dude, I call Cheyenne Bryant. I know a lot of people give credit to Corey Holcomb and all these people, and I know, I'm not a mainstream. Like, I don't venture on that line of where I can go from YouTube to outside of YouTube. I haven't perfected that yet. I'm still kind of stuck on YouTube right here on this screen. So with that being said, it's not popular to name my name. It's not popular to see my information and remember it and log it in. It's popular to do it for the people who have, who can go outside of YouTube and inside. So Corey Holcomb's one of those that can go outside and inside of YouTube and go back in and out. So he could be a credible watch by mentioning his name. Now, his points, the things he talks about, we are very similar in the things that we talk about in terms of outlook. I'm just not as raunchy as him. With that being said, I called out Cheyenne Bryant as a skeezer a long time ago. From the very beginning, just when I heard her voice. And I looked her up. I've tried to find her education. This was well before the shit went viral of people calling her out. I was like, where did she go to school? I don't know. Press 1 in the chat if you remember it. I started pulling up her credentials. I was like, she ain't no doctor. That's a LA skeezer. Okay, I was right from the beginning when I first heard of her. I was like, who is this woman? And I looked her up. She went to Cal State Northridge, and I was like, oh, she one of these NCR hoes. Okay. All right, she an NCR hoe. I was like, Cal State Northridge? I went to Cal State Northridge. So I was like, yeah, I know these type of women. She a LA skeezer. She not even a Valley girl. She, the Northridge is in the Valley. She not even a Valley girl. She a LA skeezer who got her start going through her education at Cal State Northridge. All right. So anyway. But yeah, man. And somebody saying that she was a video vixen. Everybody knows that she was not a legit person. She was just there for titties and ass and for shits and giggles and looks. She's a pretty woman. I bet you she was badder when she was younger, but she's a pretty woman. And that's why she got pulled. That's why she got it. I said that from the beginning, but well, not everybody listens to me, or they don't want to give me their credit. I don't know. Shout out to our brother here. Ian Williams says, bonus came through. Salute to Hollywood CGA. And he says, thank you with a sponsorship. Shout out to Ian Williams. Ian Williams been on a roll lately with the support and the sponsorship. Shout out to Ian Williams. Appreciate you, sir. Acknowledge him. And his bonus came through right before the weekend. All right before the weekend. So that means he got some money.
I got money.
Thank you very much. Okay, man, we got a lot of people over on, I would say, on Venmo. So we're going to come back to that. But before we get into it, let's get into Straggle and Sniggle Theater. We got two funny videos here. One's a long one and one's a short one. But we're going to start with the long one, pause. And then we're going to go from there. This should be good. It's about black men and fat white women. All right. If that's what you like, we got that for you coming up here. All right. So let's get into it. It is Straggle and Sniggle Theater.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me. You can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky. Come get high with me. That's a deal, right?
Straggle and Sniggle Theater. Do me a favor. Just give me the lines. Don't pass a scroll. Mugga, mullo. It is hot here in Las Vegas. We got triple digit temperatures and it's summertime in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's where I am right now. I'm not from Las Vegas. I don't rep Las Vegas or none of that. We should be in the high 100s today, 102. And that means it's time for me to get the fuck up out of here. We going on vacation. The official summer has not started, but we are in the 90s next week and so forth and so on. That means I'm going to be on Nomad CGA time and y'all going to see me being around the world and time to get the fuck up out of here, man. It's going to be a desert oven for the rest since all the way to October. So it's time for me to travel. Anyway, Straggle and Sniggle Theater. We have a woman that said this is the most humbling dating experience she's ever had. Now, I will be honest. I've seen this geezer before. All right. So I got to have to pause it. I've seen this woman before. And that means, which means in effect, a lot of times people who do these type of videos, they do these type of videos looks, right? For story time and for views and shit like that. Just looking at her. Let's see here. I'm going to just go to her page real quick just to see. Come on. Where's the right click save? All right. Let's see if I can go to her page and see what it is. Yeah, she has 123,000 followers. So you can take the story with a grain of salt. All right. But I've seen this woman's face before, which means I've reviewed her videos or at least seen her videos once or twice. Here and there skis, one skis, two skis. All right. But this story says the most humbling dating experience ever.
Talk about this shit on the internet, but honestly, I just had the most humbling dating experience of my motherfucking life. I don't think I'm ever going to be the same after today. Okay, buckle your tits up. This is fucking wild, right? So I've been seeing this man for like the past year, over a year now. We've been dating, and I use dating loosely because basically we just be jigging. We jig. We be jigging the shit out of each other, right?
All right, so we're jigging the shit out of each other. There's your future wives. You know, women date and they say they don't. Well, I'm not talking to anyone. They're not talking to anyone seriously. She just has a booty call. She has a sneaky link. They just jigging.
It's grand. I like it. Okay. But here's the thing. I never really took it seriously because he was 27 and I'm 41. And I just remember where I was at mentally, emotionally, financially at 27. And I'm like, this doesn't have the potential to go anywhere. But for those of you who know me, I really haven't been dating recently.
Okay. So she's just a lot of contradictions here. And I'm sorry I have to stop it because it's a long video, but I'm just explaining some things to you. We have an older woman, younger man, just jigging. She didn't want to take it seriously. She said, I haven't been dating much, but she's been jigging this young dude. And now here we are with the rest of the story here. Let's play the story.
My baby daddy passed away in July of 2024. And it's just been a difficult transition, dealing with kids and trying to find time to date. Okay. But, mama need a life too, Jody. So this worked out well for me because, we'd go on our dates. We'd have fun. We'd go back to the crib once my kids were asleep. We'd do what grown folks do. He'd leave. It's fine. Okay. But maybe a few months into us dating, he starts catching feelings. He starts saying, I love you. And it's primarily when we're jigging. So I don't take this seriously because I'll say anything. I'll say anything. All right. When you deep in the back of this strawberry flavored Gorilla Grip Kucheche, you gonna say some stupid shit too. So
okay, so this is what happens. I tell you, this is what happens when you're in these intimate relationships. You're gonna catch feelings. One or both of you guys are gonna say things you really don't mean, and then after nuts have been busted, everybody should go their separate way, except that one person catches their feelings. Right? It even gets worse than this. This is not even the worst, but this is also an example of when women say they're not. They're focusing on something else. My baby daddy died. I haven't been dating anyone seriously. They're still fucking. They're still fucking. But let's continue here. They're fucking and jigging.
You know, I don't really take it to the Dome or the Wavitos or whatever. I'm like, you know, we just jigging, right? Like we just hyping the moment up, and the moment was hype. But lo and behold, he starts creating drama, right? Oh, you got other hoes. He starts acting jealous. He starts popping up on me. And I'm like, you realize, like, I'm 41. Like, I don't do this drama. I stay with a blick in the whip, next to my bed, on every floor in my house. Like, pump your brakes, bro. Dial it back. Like, chill, okay? Long story short, he tells me that he really has feelings for me and he wants to start merging our lives and he's in love with me. And what would it look like if we lived together? And I'm like, live together, bitch. I really don't want to live with a man ever again. Like, unless like I'm bat crazy in love with this motherfucker. Like, I don't see it working. Like, my home is so peaceful. Like, why you want to go and fuck up a good thing? We got a good thing. So one day I fall asleep and he decides to go through my fucking phone.
Okay, so you see what's going on here. Look, you already know where this is going to end, but this is Straggle and Sniggle Theater. We got to continue with it. You can see she's all over the place, but this is the average typical woman who is just getting her needs met. She picked and chose who she wanted, but of course, they are going raw. This guy is just getting the best piece of pussy he been getting because a lot of 27-year-old men, they're struggling. So he going raw. He busting up into her because her tubes are probably tied. He's getting things from her that he can't get from the regular marketplace, even though he might be a catch or a bull, right? He can't get it. He's getting it from her, and he going deep into them guts. And so now he's catching feelings like any normal man would, and he thinks this is serious. She's also trying to tell them that this is serious, but she's trying to also say, I don't mean it. How could you misinterpret this? I'm saying these things just in the heat of the moment, but he's now going to the next level because he done caught feelings. So now he wants to go through her phone, and now you're going to hear the contradictions. She just said she got this one dude she jigging with. She haven't been dating for 2 years. Okay, let's see what she's been doing with this phone. Here we go.
He was curious as to why I didn't want him to live with me. I don't fucking know. I don't presume to know the motives of a 27-year-old fuckboy, nor do I fucking care for that matter. But he goes through my phone and he sees that I'm talking to other men, and then he sees the league of men that I'm talking to, because I normally only talk to men my age, okay? And like, you know, these men are very well established and very good looking, and you know, all of them are substantially taller than him. And it's kind of like, bro, like, you my charity case. Like, you know, why would you do that to yourself? You really gonna hurt your fucking feelings, okay?
Okay, so you see where this is going. Now we got that she talks to, you know, I'm doing you a favor. I talk to taller men. I talk to richer men. I talk to men more better than you. I talk to men with six-pack abs. Now, this is where her delusion has crossed the line, because she thinks that these are her roster. These men are on my roster. No, ma'am, you are on their roster. You getting smashed and passed around too. But those guys don't take you seriously. Why? Because they're older and mature. And yeah, they might be better than the other guy and bigger and taller and richer, but you just still a fucking splash mountain. That's all you are. You just a splash mountain. You just got a line full of niggas lined up and you getting passed around and smashed. You don't have a roster. So now she's talking to the other dude that she uses for sex as a charity case. All right. A charity case. But it gets even worse because she's going to get a wake up call here. And we're going to find out where all that confidence is going to go here in a minute. Okay. Okay. Where's all this confidence going to go? You see, she got all this confidence. Oh, you're a charity case. There's taller men. There's richer men, more well-established, older, mature. You're a charity case. All right, she confident now, but watch this.
But he got his feelings hurt. He really did. And I had to basically like let him know what it is. Like, I really don't want to live with you. This ain't that. And yes, I'm seeing other people. I've never alluded to the effect that I'm not seeing other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we say what we say in the heat of the moment, but we don't like say that shit for real any other time.
See, this is the difficulty right here. I know people are like, CGA just played a video. You're welcome to watch it anytime on your own. Go search it up on your own. But here you are listening to me with this analyst. I can't play a 3-hour video just for you. Okay, listen to what she said. She said, yeah, I say things in the heat of the moment, but I really don't mean them. Okay, but she's putting the blame on the young man here. But the young man, people are going to say he should have known. Well, look, everybody should know until nature shows up and he getting them sweet, watery guts. Shout out to Steph is cold. He getting them sweet, watery guts and he's listening to her. Oh, you're the only one. This pussy is yours. I don't want nobody else to get this pussy. So she's telling him these things and now she's using it was in the heat of the moment. I really didn't mean it. Now, okay, that is a legit understanding of sexual dynamics, but he doesn't understand that. So you have to be open and express it. Hey, I was just in the heat of the moment. Instead, you're leading him on to believe that there's something there. This pussy is yours. I don't want nobody else to hit the pussy. You own this. And then she's changing it on him, then hoping that he understands and he doesn't. Okay, so let's continue.
I'm like, I don't think you know what it is, and my bad if I didn't explain it properly, but let me be clear.
Yeah, you're bad.
This is what the fuck it is, right? And now we back and forth with this shit. He's not feeling it. He don't like that answer. He popping up in my fucking crib, telling me he loves me, taking back, woo, woo. And honestly, the getting was good. So I'm a sucker for a motherfucker who knows how to throw that thing. If you know, you know.
Okay, I thought there were people more better than him. But he also can blow that back out. You see how she's trying to minimize his importance, but then understand that he could throw dick, right? That's what she said. He could throw that thing. Okay, well, where is he in importance to the other guys you just compared him to? I thought this was a comparison. I thought there were better guys, but now there's no better guys. He's the best at throwing it. Okay, you see the contradiction here. You see how these people out here operate, and this sort of manipulation is what gets men to be frustrated with women. But let's continue.
He never let me live down what he saw on my phone. And I'm like, I don't understand why you tripping. Like, I'm not even going to hold you. I didn't even smash anybody else. It was just other dudes that I was talking to. But this dude takes up so much of my time with the drama and the jigging. I really haven't been able to pursue anything seriously. A majority of the other men I'm talking to, they're serious options. So it's like, bro, like, what is you even mad about? Like, majority of the time you see me ignoring somebody else or like, okay, whatever. Either way, fucking self-destructing nuclear Karen over what the fuck he found in my phone. I'm like, you gonna have to get over that shit or we're not gonna talk no more. Like, I'm not doing this with you, okay?
Okay, so this is her being defensive about her behaviors. Her behaviors are behaving like a skeezer. All right, she's a whore and a skeezer, but she's trying to minimize the importance of the other men but also saying these men are more important than you. Oh, you're taking up too much of my time. Well, I thought he was throwing that thing back. I thought that's what you wanted. Now now he's holding you accountable for what you've been doing, which he rightfully so. So before he prevents his feelings getting hurt, he wants an understanding and you to be honest with him. She's not being honest with him. She's just beating around the bush in this story. And he's continuing to not misunderstand it. She needs to be a lot more clearer. But now she's trying to be like, well, he's important and he's not important. Which one is it? Let's continue here. It's even more worse. Let me see here. Damn, we're barely at the middle of this fucking story. Let's continue.
So he eventually decides to get over the shit, okay? And one day after we had a great day, we went out downtown, had dinner, you know what I'm saying? Just had a ball. We go back to my crib. He falls asleep while he's scrolling his reels. And his phone is unlocked. I already know. You think you know where this is going to go. I promise you fucking don't, okay? So I decide to go through his phone because I'm like, well, he went through mine and didn't let me live it down. So I'm going to go through his and
See, this is what I'm talking about. I thought he wasn't that important, but now you're going to go through his phone. You see the game she's playing? And let me just tell you guys, she's 41 years old. You can see she's clearly immature in this story. She's an immature person. This bitch is a chronic. All right. She probably is a low value human being. She probably lives in a shitty apartment. She has kids. She probably got kids by another black man. You already know that this guy's a black man too, based on how he's acting. He's a homosexual. And now I thought he wasn't that important, but you're going to go through his phone. This girl's playing games. All right. She's playing games and now she's going to play dumb games and win dumb prizes. Okay. So now she's going to go through his phone because she really likes him, but she and let me tell you, she really likes him, but because of the age gap, she can't claim him. She likes the sex with him, but she also keeping her option open with the other guys that she's talking to. Because if those guys come through, they have a better situation, she'll go to it. But because this guy doesn't have a better situation, he's just a pooky who's supposedly winning, but the pookie's losing. All right, so let's continue here. There's more to even this story. So she wants to go through his phone.
Fuck with him because I like to fuck with people. I'm like a full-blown Sagittarius for real. Like, I just be talking shit and doing.
Just when you think, I know there's a lot of pauses here. This is a long-ass video. Men think that women mature when they get older. And I've been telling you this for the longest. They don't. Even when a woman looks mature, they're just kids with breasts, children with breasts. Shout out to Chronicles of Judah. They don't mature. Men think that women mature, and then at 40, they're going to wake up and go, oh, wow. I've been trying to disprove that red pill talking point for a long time. These women don't mature. They know how to act mature, but then when it comes down to dating and relationships, they play these dumbass games, especially normie women. They do not mature. Okay, they can act mature in situations, but they will play dumbass games when it comes down to it. They're going to always pull this bullshit. So here we go. Let's continue.
Shit for the plot, okay? So I go through his fucking phone and I see that he got like 5, 6, 7, 8 different bitches, and his line is always bussin' from morning to night. So like, none of this shocks me, okay? None of this is like, oh my God, I'm so hurt. I mean, I was a little bit hurt because, bitch, why are you causing drama for me where you got all these other hoes? Like,
now you see how the tables have turned? You see how the tables have turned? She said, I wasn't hurt. Oh, I was a little hurt. I was hurt because of the drama. No, you wasn't. You was hurt because you realized that he had some action. Most women don't think men have action, especially when you act desperate towards them, when you prioritize them and you pedestalize them. When you treat a woman well, she assumes you had nobody to treat well. She assumes you're the best option. Okay, this is the best he can possibly do. And that's why women don't mature in relationships, because when a man starts treating her like this, she starts believing, damn, I must be the best he can get. And she knows she ain't shit. So now she was playing the game of, I got options, but now you realize he got options, and now she got hurt. You see what's happening here? This is what you're going to deal with when these women get to 40, even 50, it gets worse. Okay, so we got this part. She realizes that he got hoes, and she's heard about it. Okay, so here we go.
You don't get why you're tripping on me doing a lesser version of what the fuck you doing. If anything, you should understand and not be going through fucking phones because, bitch, fuck is you doing? We had a good thing, right? But this is...
Now, some guys say he's simping. He's not simping. He's fucking her. All right? We've already established that simping means you getting nothing. All right? He's getting something from her. What he wants is clarity. That's all he wants. And let's be honest, he's not simping over her. He's 27. He getting the raw guts. She's saying that he's the best dick. He wants clarity. Let's clarify what's going on, because now when you hear the end of the video, you're going to know why he's not simping. He just wants clarity. What are we? If we're serious, what you're saying, if your words, these are your words, let's match the action. There's no problem with what he's doing. This is not simping. It's not tricking. All he wants is clarity from her, because he got hoes. She got hoes. His hoes ain't saying that. She's saying that. All he wants is clarity as a pookie. That's it. That's it. And that's fair. But that doesn't mean he didn't have no action going on. Okay. So let's hear the rest when she gets humbled. No, this ain't the humbling experience. This is when she gets humbled. Let's continue.
This is what got me fucked up. When going through his phone, I was able to see a lot of pictures of the other women, or like they'd give like their Instagram handle, and I'd go and I'd see it, and he follows him on Instagram, and I check the inboxes there and whatever. And this is what bothers me, okay?
Here we go.
All of them were fat.
There we go. Now, this goes into a bigger situation that I've discussed. When I talk about these guys who claim they out here fucking these top-notch women. Pussy for free. I get a lot of pussy out here. What you're going to understand is they mostly fat, low-grade, low-quality, low-hanging fruit-ass women.
Acknowledge.
Yes, indeed. You better acknowledge me. He said most of these women were fat. Exactly. Pookie, wake up. Wake up, Pookie. Yeah, dude, we can all fuck a lot of fat women out here and claim that we're winning. But she got a wake-up call. Oh, shit. Look at her face. Oh, ma'am, I don't think you realize, looking at them chunky-ass fingers on your hand, you're one of the fat bitches. You're one of the fat bitches. That's what she gonna realize now. Let's continue.
I'm not body shaming, okay? But all of them were like fat. Like, I'm not talking like chubby. I'm talking like these some big ass bitches. These ain't fucking tortas, all right? These are fucking refrigerators. Like the ones built in the 1960s where every shelf is a Lazy Susan. Maximum fucking capacity fridge built bitches. All different flavors of fucking fat bitches. Like, like this motherfucker ain't got no type except the bitch gotta be built big. A big bitch.
Yep.
Built bitch. I'm just back fat Betty assholes. Back fat Betty riding in a double wide Chevy eating fucking spaghetti. Oh my God. And then it hit me. Okay.
Yep.
It hit me. It hit me like a ton of bricks.
What?
Am I a fat bitch?
Ma'am, you figured it out. Miss, I got options. Miss, I got bigger, taller, stronger, faster. Miss, I got options, but you let this nigga smash. Now you know who you are. Wake up call. You a fat bitch. All right, that's who you are. You a big bag. Yeah. You thought you had a pookie.
Big bag.
Yes, it hit you like a ton of bricks.
I'm always home.
Let's qualify you.
I spend my money.
I've been trying to qualify these men and these women forever. And sometimes it takes all of this to humble you. You just a big fat bitch at the end of the
Skinny
day.
black dude.
You just low hanging fruit.
Skinny black dude. Big white girl. Skinny black dude. White girl.
You know this is a nigga.
Big white girl.
Now, that don't mean you can't fall in love with a fat woman. That's not what I'm saying. But don't act like you was talking big and bad when you just a charity case too, you big fat. And then it hit me. Yes, you probably the smallest tank in his arsenal. Okay, you wouldn't realize you just the smallest tank in his arsenal. You just in the line of fat bitches that he get for free and poke on. What did you call it? Jibbing? You just another fat bitch that he jibbing. That's it. You ain't all that.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Can't even believe I'm going to talk about this.
All right, so I fucked around and messed up here. Yeah, man. Humbling experience. You got humbled. You got humble. I'm all that, and he likes me, and he loves me. I must be the best he can get. Well, you're the best fat woman he can get. And pookies, y'all got to be honest out here, because these pookies that have you thinking that you missing out. Oh, it's for free. I'll be out here busting. I'll be out here getting it. Blah, blah, blah. These dudes is fucking tanks out here. Gorditas, tortas, mas grande. All right, mas grande, elefante, mastodons. And I got further proof. Wait till you see this video out here. We have a guy here from Dallas, Texas. All right, this is why you don't listen to niggies. Talk about, especially pookies. So let's show you this goof ass nigga right here. All right, I'm trying to show you what. Hold on for a second. I'm trying to set it up. Okay, so here we go right here. Okay, especially these dirty deals, Nick Rodneys and these pookies. Damn, I'm trying to set up the video just so you can see the guy in this video. Because these dudes act like they out here getting quality and quantity. But they're not, bro. They're not. They be lying. Plus, bro, I've been one of these dudes, man. So don't lie to me. We ain't got to lie to kick it. All right. And I know pookies. I know these dirty ass niggas all the time quality. So here's a video of a guy right there. You see him right there. You see the pookie. And you can see the gordita right next to him. We're going to Dallas, Texas. Well, apparently, this woman showed up to the spot. You see this right here? You see the pookie? This woman showed up to the spot, and you can see she's in pain. You can see her face. And look at these arms. And this guy's clearly a pookie. This guy will tell you he never paid for pussy. He gets it for free. Women throw it at him all the time. And he got caught in the action. He got caught in the act. He got caught in the act. Look at this dude. And you listening to him. Sometimes you might believe him as a young man. You be like, maybe he is getting the baddies. I'll be getting the baddies. They be throwing it at me. Coach, you don't never know, man. I be getting it for free. I never pay. All right. These are the guys. And I'm like, bro, don't trust these guys. These guys are lying. These guys are lying. Now look at the woman in the back. You already can see. Mas grande. Mucho grande. Now, you can see on her face that she's in love. Why? Because this nigga hit that bottom. He hit this bottom. I mean, dudes be going in on these women, digging them out. Trust me, I know. And they feel good. You just don't want to be seen in broad daylight with a hoe like this. And as you can see, she showed up broad daylight and she called him out and busted up his whole scene. So let's go back to the video just so you can see what happened. And I'll explain what happened here. And everybody knows what happened here once you see the video. So let me see if I can line it up real quick on Straggle Sniggle Theater. Let's line this shit up. Okay, here it is right here. Let's hear the vow.
What you do to her, bro? What you do to her, bro? What you do to her, bro? What you do to her, my nigga? I ain't do nothing. What you do? What he do, 66?
What he do, baby? Why you
I ain't do nothing.
like that? What?
What you do to her, bro?
Oh. All right, so she showed up. He might be working at a little, I don't know, man, if this is his spot. But she said, I need you. Woo-wee.
Oh, the humanity.
And she done showed up unannounced, because when men do this, this is stalking. When men do this, this is stalking. Like that woman, that the previous woman said, he started showing up at my spot, showing up at my work, this and that. Instead of her being honest, she was letting the dude stalk, and now she tried to play the victim. But this woman, I've been here. It's hard to get women sprung like this, you know what I mean? Because they ain't got no feelings inside no more. But she said, I need you. And look at how he's acting right here.
What you do to her, bro?
All right, what you do to her? What you do to her? Well, let me explain what he did to her. He dug her out, hit that bottom, and nutted in this woman. He emptied his nuts, and not only once, he does it multiple times a day. He kisses on her big fat turkey neck. He licks, he put his face in between her legs. He done things to her she ain't never did before. No nigga has ever done what these dirty pookie ass niggas be doing. He's done it all. He done made this woman bust and squirt and all of that. Okay, and he then went in multiple times in a day. We talking about every day he shows up and digs her out. Okay, and you can see on his face, he already know, but he been keeping her a secret. Secret lover, yeah. And the camera dude already trying to bust his spot up too. Hey man, what you do to this girl? Yes, what you do to this girl? Shit that not many niggas will do. All right, only you dirty ass niggas. Not yeah. So he done gave her a baby and all that. Okay. And as you can see, look at these. Oh my, look at this.
Oh, the humanity.
And he beat that shit up on a dirty floor, all of that. Look at them feet. Look at them cankles. I mean, look at what's going on here. She built like a whole refrigerator. And look at her face. She thinking of all the shit that this nigga did and said. Okay. He thinking of all the things he done told her he loves her. She the best he ever had. Okay. And let's see his reaction.
What you do to her, bro? What you do to her, my nigga?
Yeah, look, what you do? Ad nigga. Okay. Stop listening to these pookies on the internet tell you what they're doing to these women, that they getting the baddies and they getting it for free. Okay. Stop, gentlemen. These guys are lying. They're lying 100%. This is who they doing it with for free. Okay.
I ain't do nothing. What you do? What he do, sis?
What he do to you, sis? What he do? Please explain. I would love to interview this woman for her to explain what this nigga does to this woman. Okay.
What he do, baby? Why you
I ain't do nothing.
like that?
Because I need him. Oh man, dude, these women are, it's hard to find a woman like this. I'm gonna tell you, man, this woman might be 17 years old. I mean, I know it's hard to believe because she's big, This woman might not be very old. All right. She might be 17, 18, or 19. Okay. She probably's not very much past the 20s. Now, if she is, she probably got special ed. She probably has a mental retardation. Like, there's probably something wrong with her. Like, she might be on the spectrum, on the far spectrum, like live in her mama house, right? She might be on the elite autistic spectrum. Like, she might be considered even illegal to fuck her. Okay. Like, this woman is a special case. Just the way she's acting, meaning that he knows that she's special. He knows that she R-E-T-R retarded. Okay. She knows she was had a helmet strap. He knows he probably rode the short bus with this bitch. But that's what I'm getting from this. He banging a slow woman.
What?
What you do to her, bro? What you do to her, bro?
Oh, yeah. Just the way she acting. I need you. Somebody says she can carry bricks. Yep. She the type of bitch that carry bricks and get pulled over by the police. She goes into a bank with a firearm in her purse and a letter saying this is a stick up. And these the type of niggas sitting these girls down, and look at this nigga teeth, bro. Oh my goodness, this is crazy.
Niggas always gotta show they teeth.
Okay. And in between all that, he put his face in between this muff. In between this muff huff, he eats her out from booty hole all the way back to the tip, all the way to the pearl tongue. Okay. And he have her squirming and squirting.
What you do to her, bro? What you do to her, my nigga?
I ain't do nothing.
What you do? What do you do, 66?
What he do, baby? Why you
I ain't do nothing.
like that?
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh man, god dang, bro. I'm telling you, niggas ain't ish out here. Let me see if I actually went in the comment section of this video. I surely did go in the comment section of this video. Man, these dudes be lying to you. I had to go in the comment section and said he hit that bottom and dug her out. That's what he did, man. These dudes, and let me just say this. It's not just the guys in this situation. It's the men and the women, because the previous woman essentially was doing the same thing to the other pooky. And so both of these people were both manipulative in the situation. The pooky was manipulative, that ugly woman, and that the pooky in her life, she was manipulating him until she found out, well, he out here dumpster diving. So both people are wrong. Both genders in this situation are wrong for doing this and not being clear, playing games and lying, and then pointing to the other person like it's their fault. Pookie wants to make that special ed woman like it's her fault. She's stalking me. She popping up on me. Well, be honest with her and stop digging her out and hitting that bottom and then busting nuts deep inside her hole. The woman, well, he popping up on me and he checking up on me. If you were honest with him, this wouldn't happen. But of course, we got Strags and Snigs who ruin the dating marketplace and all of that. And that's what you get out here. Straggle and Sniggle Theater out.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?
And I'm going to tell you, nothing is going to get you rich overnight. Okay, you're going to have to build this particular well. So with that being said, I'm going to put this up here. Non-disclosure agreement. First, he says that has to be at least $5K in equipment, allegedly. Yes. Don't invest in your show. Your show will suffer.
When I hit 300,000, of course, I was listening to you. If you train your mind and you apply and you actually study and level yourself up, oh yeah, you're going to get the money. But you have to be dedicated.
You need multiple streams of income. This is a non-negotiable at this point. If you only have one income, if you lose that income, now where are you?
Never had an emergency fund. Never. Because if you have the ability to save money in excess of your needs, then that money should be multiplying for you.
What we do is we help with unified systems, your brand system, your web system, your data, and your operations.
If you get into a situation where you were going to take a shortcut, this is when you're going to get scammed.
Like, you apply to a job and a day later you got a rejection letter. Nobody read your resume. The AI rejected your resume.
I have my cameras down here so that it's always behind everything else.
One of the things that we definitely want to practice in picking these stocks kind of you definitely want to exercise patience. So if you're doing diligence on a stock and you don't have to buy it at that particular point in price.
Oh man, an announcement to make for those that don't watch and keep up with the news here. News from the National Football League. Russell Wilson, you guys know him, as you guys call him. He's a Hall of Fame in the 12 Simps of Cheesemas right here. Former Seattle Seahawks quarterback, former New York Giants quarterback, former New York Jets quarterback, if I'm not mistaken, has retired from the NFL. Oh, no, at age 37. Announcement is he's one of 4 quarterbacks to win the Super Bowl in his second NFL season. He is yet to win another one after that. He could have won a second one if Pete Carroll would have ran the ball. He could have won 2 Super Bowls with these Seahawks or the Seahags, the Denver Broncos as well. Yes, he did coach. He did play for the Denver Broncos. He retired. He should have retired a long time ago, but, he had to get that NFL pension. How soon do you think a divorce is going to happen here? The statistics tell us that within 1 to 5 years, NFL players who get divorced. All right. So the clock is set on Russell Wilson. Oh, my goodness. He probably might get divorced by 40. All right, by age 40 from Sierra, because, I don't think Sierra really likes him like that. I'm not saying he's simping or anything. I don't think Sierra likes him like that. She gonna want him to be out on the road, all right, doing those telecasts out here. Get on the road. But if he around the house, she gonna be fed up. She can't cheat on him like she need to, probably, allegedly. All right, man. But Russell Wilson, last year we reported that the son of Future took Russell Wilson's last name. All right, so he's locked in for child support for sure, even if she divorces. But shout out to Russell Wilson. A pretty solid career. Hall of Fame career? Nope. I don't think he has a Hall of Fame career, to be honest with you. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. And in fact, if he's a Hall of Famer, well then we got to explain why a lot of other people are not Hall of Famers in that situation there. I mean, there's a lot of people that need to be in the Hall of Fame if he's a Hall of Famer. I think he misses the Hall of Fame, to be honest with you. Right, because Jim Plunkett's not in the Hall of Fame. All right, shout out to the Raiders. Jim Plunkett's not in the Hall of Fame. He got 2 Super Bowl rings. All right, and an NFL MVP. But anyway, he's not a Hall of Famer. All right, what makes him a Hall of Famer? What? Not a Hall of Famer. Anyway, people like, he won a Super Bowl. All right, shout out to him. He won a Super Bowl. Against who? All right, anyway. Shout out to Hustle Every Day. Hustle Every Day says, what's left when her beauty, energy, fertility, and innocence is spent? My new measurement for women is aged between 25 and 36 is beauty, energy, femininity, and innocence, BEFI, which no woman is going to have much innocence by age 25 to 36. All right, age 25 to 36, not much innocence left. I got a clip on this later on in the show. Shout out to our brother Traymon. Shout out to Traymon, says, thanks, coach. Question. So have women always been liabilities? Like before Disney and the propaganda, based on everything you said, why get with long-term depreciating assets? I guess kids. All right. So interesting enough, women have always been liabilities. They have always been liabilities, but there was a thing that a man was getting back, which is a return of their investment. Particularly the return was seen as he had access to this woman where no man had other access. He might have got access to this woman where no other man had access prior to him. Or he got her ability to even take part in raising the kids. Now, women today call this slavery. They call this unpaid sex work. That's because that's how women feel about it today. So they feel that why would they give men this and get nothing in return? So the women are wanting more in return for this, what they're getting. Now that's where the difference is. But women have always been a liability. This is why men have sheltered and protected them, not from others, but from themselves. But women want to be outside. They want to be able to make their own decisions. And whether they pay for those decisions, well, that's debatable. Sometimes they just pass the buck and make someone else pay for it. But yes, women have always been liabilities. Men have almost always had to, in marriage, come in with something, or the woman had to come in with something. Bride price, you had dowries. You have a lot of ways where it has always been transactional, and it is always the man taking on the responsibility of that woman. So I take the responsibility of this woman. If the woman messes up, it affects the man. It affects the man's name. Again, women today don't want this. They don't want to take the man's name. They don't want the protection. They want to be outside and free. And the men don't have a return. What is the return for me getting with a woman long term? Nothing. It's nothing. Men are figuring that out. Even women are figuring it out for themselves now. They're following the men. Okay, what am I getting out of it? So that's what people want. And I think we need to go back to arranged marriages. I talked about this a long time ago. If people want to get married, it should be arranged. It should be completely transactional from the rip. Instead, we use love and I'm going to be with you forever and I would never do anything against you. And time will reveal that these are all false. Okay, a lot of people have despicable things done to them, whether it's the first year or year 12, after 3 kids or 4, it all ends up falling the same route as the marriage will. Okay, so I'm going, why don't we just, if we're doing this, let's be upfront, protect ourselves. Let's make this completely transactional or arranged. And for a period of time, when that period of time is up, you can renegotiate this. I've been saying this for the better part of 20 years, but we don't do it because it takes the appeal away from the woman initially. She wants to fall in love and believe she's the only one. She wants the fairy tale. We could purchase a fairy tale, but if you take the emotional connection away from women, they don't see any incentive of starting the relationship. They want to feel like you're the best. She's the best you ever had, special. You take that away from her, she doesn't know how to leverage it. It's tough. It's a tough dynamic. I try to provide solutions, but my solutions are often going to remove the emotions or minimize the emotions, and that's what people don't like. And I understand it because emotional part, it is a part of it. It is a part of it, but we got to be honest with ourselves. We're just not honest with ourselves. Black Suburban Dad says, I'm sure Adam pleased his wife. The problem is Jason got her to a mental and physical state that I call total ecstasy. This is the point a woman totally changes, but most guys never see this. And there's women that actually have guys that serve them and blow their back out. And then they want a guy that is intimate. Guys typically don't want to be the guy that provides just intimacy. You want to be able to say, I'll blow her back out ecclesiastically. But you're also understand a woman that has a sneaky link and gets her back blown out. She still wants a guy that loves her. The guy that blows her back out doesn't love her. So she's going to find the guy that loves her and is intimate with her and holds her. Porn stars essentially say this. All right. Well, I'm different with my husband. All right. Yeah, these guys blow my back out. Yeah, I might enjoy it, but this guy, he's different. We kiss, we cuddle, we do missionary. When I'm on the set, there's no missionary. Okay. We live in a time where women can get access to both and openly discuss it. Whereas before, they couldn't openly pursue these options. I mean, they liable to get killed out here talking this shit. You understand this? That's why feminism freed men. But men want to be in love. I want to be in love. I want to be the only one that touched her innards. No. Hustle Every Day says Lena proves that you can give her everything and she still leaves. It's free agent lifestyle for life. It's the only way. And yeah, you might think it's lonely, but when you fly to DR, Costa Rica, or even Miami, you're not lonely if you got monions. You're never alone. All right. I think I'm alone.
I got money.
I think I'm alone. You're never alone. You can always get company from a woman. A woman is always going to give you company for a little bit of dollars. But coach, I don't want to do it. I want a burning desire. Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, I get women's burning desire all the time. In fact, there are some women that actually can get both. They can get burning desire and money. Like they figured that out. They can get money. They can get both for a short period of time. Tywell says the amount of times you've been on point has to be studied in the halls of school and life. Like you've always said, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I'm just stopping by to give you your flowers why we still have you. It's free agent lifestyle for life. Unfortunately, I don't get my flowers off the stream. People just listen to me and they either agree or disagree. They move on. But then when their favorite celebrity says the same shit that I said, all right, years down the line, they're like, look at what he said. In fact, there's a woman, like a lot of people are new to me. Press 1 in the chat if you found me after 2024. Let's be honest. Press 1 in the chat if you found me after 2024. All right, we're gonna see real quick of what happens to what happens, why people have missed the best of CGA. Like, you missed it. You completely missed who I am. You don't understand. You don't understand why I'm braggadocious, why I pop my shit. Okay. If you found me after really 2023, you've already missed. You missed the best information that I've given you. I'm like in a comfort zone now. Like, I can sleepwalk and do this shit. Like, this is me validating why I was right in the end. This is my tour now. Like, I'm not trying to prove my point. I basically am just like, yeah, I already said that. I told you. I wrote a book about this. Like, I wrote my first 2 books, 2019 and 2020. Well, actually, 2018 and 2019. Like, I wrote my first books back then. People who found me after 2023, I know you think it's weird that I'm just sitting here talking about, look, I said this before, and look at. And what happens is people literally send me videos of people that have already been like I've already covered them 100 times. Like, recently, people have been sending me a video. Coach, you should talk about this woman. And it's a woman that's, I think, on Soft White Underbelly, and she's saying some shit like that me, Kevin Samuels, and Angry Man done said already 100 times. And she's like, Coach, man, this woman's on point. And then I see the video, and it's that fucking bull dagger, the queen maker. You know who I'm talking about? The queen maker. I can't remember her name. I done forgotten more than these motherfuckers know out here. I'm like, that's the bull dagger, the queen, Princella. I'm like, bro. But what happens is men are so new, and they're new to me, and they're new to the information. They're like, look, this woman's saying some shit that's on point. I'm like, Princella? The bull dagger? Like, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Like, bro, you guys have missed. Dude, Saint in the Center done debated Princella. Angry Man done debated Princella before COVID. She was on Fresh. Nigga, man, I don't need these people. I don't need to show you women that prove my point. Meaning that I don't need to show you women who are agreeable. Like, I don't need to show you that. I'm never going to show you that. I'm going to show you women who back up my point unintentionally. I'm not going to be like, oh, this woman's smart. She figured it out. That's Princella, nigga. What the fuck? Yeah, Charleston White then debated her. This woman been around just as long as I have. If not, I've been wrong slightly longer than her. But this is when I know that people are new to the message. I'm like, I'm not here to have women validate me. I never show you a video really of women, like, you know, that white bitch that sit up here. Okay. You know that white bitch that slide in the video? And she like a basic white bitch. She got the blonde hair and the little minimalized makeup, and she slide in the video, and she be like, I'll be like, bruh, next. There's another black woman going crazy, an MB going crazy. She every video is her being agreeable to men. And I'm like, dude, y'all falling for the oldest shit in the book. Yeah, sis, talk your shit. I'm like, y'all falling for the oldest shit in the book. Agreeable women. I said this long time ago. Again, there are going to be a bunch of women that are just going to jump up here and agree with men, and y'all going to fall for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Haven't I told you that? I've been telling y'all that since 2022. I said, at some point, the women are just going to jump on here and just be agreeable. Oh, you should watch Pearl. I'm like, bro, shout out to Pearl, no disrespect. But these women are going to figure out, let's just agree with the guys. And it's going to be ching. They making $100,000 a month on TikTok just because of y'all dumbass niggas. I'm like, y'all so stupid. But look, when I say that, y'all just going to call me a hater. But let me go back, gentlemen, because you give it one little situation and they're going to reveal they're a woman. As soon as they get in a relationship, they're going to reveal that all that shit they've been espousing don't mean shit. They're going to revert back to being a woman. Yeah, the chameleons. So what I'm telling you is, if you found me after 2023 and you're trying to show me videos of women that are agreeable to us, and these, you don't realize these women been already in the industry for a long time. And even if she's new, that's a grift. It's a grift. I'm well past this. I'm actually really maturing past all of this bullshit because it's bullshit at this point. If you don't accept the way men and women are today, it's your fault. But y'all trying to bring me back to this little stupid talking points from 2021, and I'm over it. I'm way over it. Way over it. Okay, you just are trying to validate yourself at this particular situation, but I'm undefeated. Yeah, to protect her at all costs, bitches. Oh, we need to protect this woman. I done seen it all. Coach, man, this would be a good woman to feature on your show. It was a Princella the Bull Dagger. I was like, bruh, we're cooked. Somebody said Sarah, another woman. And somebody said Princella was against men at first. Yep. And then she got done wrong by a bull dagger. And now she out here talking shit about some women. Like, man, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Yeah, Tyrese's ex. I mean, there's so many examples of these women that talk that shit and grift and then get you in your feelings. And then you're like, Coach, man, you need to show her. And then guess what? One situation, they prove that they just like every other woman. Right. And it's normally going to be their relationship with women or a relationship situation. And then what's the Tyrese's ex was talking that shit and then dragging this nigga in divorce court and child support court, dragging him, false allegating him, dragging him for years, ruining him right in front of our eyes. And she was still grifting. Oh, man. Anyway, Kaylin says, where do I begin? Even Jason Love said that Adam 22's face when he wouldn't let another man bang his wife if he was married. He says how these two had a child together is crazy to me. I can't feel bad for anyone anymore. This was coming for sure. Yes, it was. I'm going to show you, man. I'm going to show you that this was doomed from the start, but a lot of guys never saw it. You guys got in your feelings. Yes, indeed. Jacob Rivera says, Coach, I just went to an RC park and a beach alone in my state of Rhode Island and mentioned it. And as mentioned in the free agent lifestyle, and Adam 22, you imbecile, what are you, dude? He says, anyway, guys, get the book Free Agent Lifestyle. Stop being cheap. You pay for more expensive things all the time. Yes, indeed. But $12.99 is too much for a book or whatever Amazon's selling it for. Shout out to you for enjoying your life. And then Kaylin says, Russell Wilson is Hall of Fame worthy. Eli Manning will get in for only beating Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls. Russell has the Pro Bowls, the stats, and a ring that's significant for enshrinement. Other than that, he's still a simp for marrying Sierra. Okay, shout out to you. I mean, Eli has 2 Super Bowl rings, if I'm not mistaken. Russell only has 1. That is a big difference. Not only that, he beat Eli Manning beat an undefeated Patriot squad, a major underdog, and won. I mean, he was the winning quarterback. All right, but if we're going by 1 Super Bowl ring, there's a bunch of people that got 1 Super Bowl ring. Joe Flacco. What's that one nigga name? He played for the Buccaneers all them times, and then he went to the Ravens, and then he won a Super Bowl. There's a lot of people that got 1 Super Bowl that ain't never gonna mention again. Jeff Hostetler got 1 Super Bowl. Like, and if you look up Jeff Hostetler, he got the stats too. Jeff Hostetler was a slinger. He was a gunslinger. Okay. Jeff Hostetler was a gunslinger. All right. That dude can sling the ball. All right. If I'm not mistaken, go look it up. He was a very sought after quarterback. He was putting up numbers. There was another dude, Jeff George, was putting up numbers. He never won a Super Bowl, but that's an example. Jeff George used to put up numbers. Okay. Where Jeff George at? So numbers don't mean shit. Pro Bowls don't mean shit, bro. Look, the Pro Bowl don't even mean nothing. It's just basically just like nobody wants to go to the Pro Bowl. But anyway, and Kurt Warner wasn't putting up numbers, but for literally like 3 years. But he won. He did the whole Rams turnaround. Anyway, somebody said who? Exactly. Somebody said Jeff Hostetler. Who? Well, he got Super Bowl. But Jeff George, look up Jeff George numbers. All right, this dude got Warren Moon numbers. I mean, the dude was putting up numbers on the scoreboard. Anyway, where's Jeff George at? Not in the Hall of Fame. I think Russell Wilson misses it. At least, I mean, he might get in it on name alone, but somebody's going to say, well, these other dudes won on defense. So did Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson won on defense. The defense won that Super Bowl. What was the defense called? Yeah, Trent Dilfer has a ring. That's the guy that played for the Buccaneers all those years, and the sad Buccaneers, I believe, and then went to the Ravens and won the Super Bowl on defense. A lot of quarterbacks won on defense. Phil Simms, defense. Okay. What's the dude's name? Jim McMahon, defense. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks don't won a Super Bowl just on defense alone. Okay, is Jim McMahon in the Hall of Fame? Is Jim McMahon in the Hall of Fame? I mean, that dude probably got the worst quarterback statistics of anybody if he in the Hall of Fame. But he won a Super Bowl on defense. Most quarterbacks win just on the defense. Anyway, I don't want to make that a conversation. Brad Johnson got a Super Bowl based on the defense. Tampa Bay. So there's a whole bunch of quarterbacks out here that may be in or not in the Hall of Fame that just won based on the defense, just whooping some ass. Whooping some ass. So I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough conversation, but I'll leave him out. But he might get in based on name alone. Yeah, man. Defense wins championships. That's what it is. Fuck the quarterback. All right. He got a ring. They got a ring. Everybody got a ring. When you just got to hand the ball off. Is Jim McMahon in the Hall of Fame? Hold on for a second. Jim McMahon. Now that we talking about it, fuck it. But this show, I got to get out of here because I got a doctor's appointment. Is he in the Hall of Fame? He is not in the Hall of Fame. Jim McMahon's not in the Hall of Fame. And Jim McMahon had the Super Bowl Shuffle song. So, I mean, what's his name? I just mentioned him. Jim Plunkett, 2 Hall of Fames. Not in the Hall of Fame. For people who don't know, Jim Plunkett has 2 Super Bowl rings. 2. Not in the Hall of Fame. So the Super Bowl rings mean nothing. I mean, it means something, but it's not just going to get you in the Hall of Fame. People don't realize. Jim Plunkett, and I believe, he said, read my super chat. No, motherfucker, I'll read it when I want to read it, but thank you. Jim Plunkett has 2 Super Bowl rings. 2. Not in the Hall of Fame. Jim Plunkett, AFC Rookie of the Year. 1980s Comeback Player of the Year. Only Hispanic player to be drafted. #1 pick. 2 Super Bowl rings. Heisman Trophy. Not in the NFL Hall of Fame. Okay. Not in the NFL Hall of Fame. Heisman Trophy. #1 pick. AFC Rookie of the Year. 2-time Super Bowl champion. Sitting right there waiting. All right. Shout out to Jim Plunkett. Raiders. So, stats, all that shit that y'all talking about that you think is a guarantee walk-in is not a guarantee. You never know. But anyway, where are we at here? It's not that easy and clear, but I think Russell Wilson gets in on name alone. But I think there's better quarterbacks that could be in here. That could be in there better than Russell Wilson. You can make a case for anybody better than Russell. I just did. All right, but does he deserve to get in? The answer is no. But anyway, let's get in here. Fuck you, boss up. All right, we got boss up action right here.
Better boss up, nigga.
Let's boss up. We got people out here, man. They struggling. We got a young brother up here, man. Shout out to the young people in here struggling. Are you struggling? Press 5 in the chat if you're struggling in this economy. The economy whooping y'all ass out here. This guy says we have reached our limit. Do you feel like you've reached our limit? All right, we have a video of this guy going feral on Facebook. And he's saying right here, he said he's making the most money he's ever made, but the bills are snatching it. That's the realities of millions. He says making $40 an hour used to sound comfortable. Not in many cities. That barely leaves you with a couple $100 after the basics. A new 2026 poll shows that 75% of American workers say they're struggling to afford more than the basic living expenses. So no, This is not just people being irresponsibly. This is an economy where people are working full time, making good money, and still barely surviving. Let's take it to the video of the guy talking about this. 54 seconds of this young man feeling the squeeze of the realities of today's marketplace, which I talk about quite a bit on the money mindset, how you need to change this mindset. But let's go ahead and play the video of this young man right here.
Bro, and there's just nothing else that you can cut back on, boy. There's no more cutting back on Starbucks, coffees, subscriptions. It's nothing left. I'm out here managing and budgeting using the vending machine.
Let me stop right here. Man, I don't even have a car with this fucking eternity roof here. Whatever this is, okay? Leather seats. I mean, and these are custom leather seats. These ain't the ones you get at the shop. All right, these are some extended package leather seats. All right, I'm just noticing this, but let's continue, young man.
I'm going days where I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna eat for lunch. I'm gonna wait till I get back home. Ain't nothing else left to cut out. It's crazy. I'm making the most money I probably didn't ever make. Ain't no probably. I didn't ever made. Yeah, I don't ever see it. It be gone. The bills be snatching it.
It be bad. It be.
I'm not even gonna say we not making enough money. Everything just too high.
Too high.
Ain't no way at 36 an hour, getting close to 40 an hour, you just barely making it.
Barely.
You just be having enough and maybe a couple hundred extra. That's crazy. What is going on?
See, look, man. Look, I said this a couple of weeks. I'm actually taking my Coach Greg Adams channel in this direction because, yeah, I'm fucking tired of the manosphere and red pill talking points that ain't gonna help you. Let's talk about some shit that's gonna help you. Sir, this guy's pretty young. He's fairly young. All right, so he's under 30, you can clearly see. I don't know his living situation. I'm just pointed out his car. That might not even be his car. But I talked about this on the money mindset that if you don't change your financial literacy and understanding, although everybody's tight economically, I'm not gonna say we're not. What I'm saying is he hasn't changed his financial literacy, which means in effect, when you make more money, you're still gonna waste more money. Okay. Just making more money is not the only solution. You have to have the proper mindset going into it. So he has to find some sort of way to sacrifice and minimalize something, give up something. But it looks like he got a crispy hairline. His mustache is lined up. All right. He's got a nice car. There might be some things that he's making some personal choices that he cannot survive, even though he increases his income. An increase in income does not mean you're going to have more money at the end. You're just going to have more money you're spending some things on. So he's reached this limit according to him. But I'm just going to go back and say these are personal choices. If you take anything back, watch this. And people are going to be mad when I say this because I have to look within this myself. I have to look within myself and then make this decision. The personal choices I'm making is causing this situation. So he's going to say, how, coach? Okay, show me where you live. Okay. Then he's going to show me where he lives. As an example, let's just say he lives by himself. Why don't you live back at your parents' house? Why don't you live with a roommate? Why don't you live with two roommates? You see, that is automatically going to be back to choice. I can probably say your car. Okay, why do you have this car? Well, the hubs. Okay, now you're prioritizing fucking strags who like this Dodge Challenger over having a better financial life. These are two choices you made. You want to bang hubs on your twin mattress for free and then drive around here acting like you're getting it for free, but all the money going to the hose is to your car. It's through your car. So that's how you're attracting. So you don't want to make a sacrifice there. You don't want to ride a bike, a skateboard, public transportation. Not saying that you should. I'm just saying you made a choice to be squeezed out, to start looking at maintenance and car insurance and car washes. These are all personal choices you're making that you're saying that I should be able to survive off an increase in income. Well, you've increased your income, but your personal decisions are putting you in a situation. And don't let me bring up the financing, bring up your contract. See, these are examples of choices that people are making, and then they're making it that, well, we should be able to survive. We should be able to survive with a car, and we should be able to survive in this economy. We should be, a family of 4 or 5 should be able to survive if you increase the income. Do not let me get to your credit card statements and your debit card. Why you out here smoking dope? Soon as you tell me you smoke weed and you're saying it's tight financially, I don't feel sorry for you, because that's an easy one to give up. because that's going to cost you $200 to $500 or even more per month that you're doing. Well, there's nothing wrong with weed. Okay, well, there's obviously something wrong with weed because that's $200 to $500 possibly a week or a month going right out the window. Now, these are just quick assessments that I can make. This is just quick assessments, and you can guarantee the weed being purchased. Okay. So these are three choices you've made that is preventing you from getting to your financial peak. Well, you're gonna be like, well, I need to have sex. I need the hoes. I need the weed. I need the. Okay, these are all choices. And it won't take long for me to figure out that you've made these choices. All I would have to do is do the Caleb Hammer on you and pull up your goddamn file. Okay. And I will quickly see that you've made dozens of choices that are causing you to be in this situation. We have another woman out here that's saying, man, this is effed up. Oh, here's another choice. Okay. Here's another choice. You know what another choice is? Living where you live. Okay. So you live in Cincinnati. You live in Los Angeles. You live in Miami. You live in Hawaii. Then you tell me it's hard for you to live there. It's hard for me to live there. Why don't you move somewhere else? Move somewhere else. Now, this is where people say, well, my family lives here and all my friends live here. Again, that's a choice. You're choosing that. Remember, you made a choice. You're choosing to be in a bad financial situation. Well, the job industry I'm in, they don't have it in Columbus, Ohio. Again, choice. Again, I can boil all down to your financial frustrations back down to choice. You're choosing to live there. You're choosing to work in that environment. You're choosing not to have an education or going into the education field. You chose that major. You chose that industry. You chose to live around your family. These are choices you can literally not make. All right, I choose none of these and then see if your financial situation changes. It's always going to come down to choice. But what people want is to be able to make whatever choice they want and then still benefit. You cannot do that. Can't do that. I'm not hearing that shit. And I had to look at my life and make the same decisions. What choices am I making? You want to have a girlfriend. You're going to choose to actually have a lot of your time and money going towards that girl to maintain that relationship. You want to roster of hoes. Guess what you signed up for? You signed up to try to manage and maintain this roster of women. That's a choice. That doesn't mean you can't survive in this economy. So let's go take you to the next woman here that's going to talk about this. People don't want to boss up. They want to live a life of making choices independently without suffering the consequences. Nah, man, there's consequences to everything. So here we go. Is the American life becoming financially impossible? Here's the woman at the bottom of the screen. She looks like some of y'all aunties and grandmas, but let's continue.
2 kids, right? Is about $78,000. See, this is the game that the media will try to play with you to make you think in your struggle, it's you. No, boo. It's the system. Because basically the American life is becoming mathematically impossible for most Americans to even live. Right now, the American economy feels like, one of those claw machines. You see the prize, you reach for it. But that claw never actually grabs tight enough to pull it out. So I'm asking, when you hear numbers like this, do they feel realistic to you? Or does it sound like they're describing a life that most Americans will never live?
Okay, so let me just start right here. And I'm not trying to diss auntie right here. Okay, but I can guarantee you she has no man. I can guarantee you this woman does not have a man. She doesn't have a husband. She does not have a boyfriend. She probably got a pooky ass boyfriend at that. When I'm going to tell you that's a choice. Okay. And somebody said at least her hair is real. I guarantee you for about 45 years, it wasn't real. This is when women give up. When they go natural, they've given up on life. Anytime you see a woman with a natural, she is so broke and giving up on relationships and marriages that she just said, fuck it. Okay. So she don't have a second income, meaning that her income, whatever job she's chosen in career path, might pay her very well, but that probably is still supplemental income. And she's just spending she's on the hamster wheel. I guarantee you there's no man. And these women get to this age and then they start saying, well, the system, I should be able to support myself on this income. No, let's go back. And I want you to always remember, that when they pull up this data, okay, when they pull up this data, in order to maintain a single life, you must make way more than what 2 working adults need to make, because you need to adjust and adapt to the expenses of being single. Being single is not free. You're free of listening to a motherfucker, you getting your piece, but there's a price for freedom. So as a single person, you must be able to compensate or overcompensate for the fact that there's not a second person contributing to the household expenses, contributing to, like, you're going to pay for shit to be done. Like, as a single man, I have to hire women because I don't have time to clean this house. I don't have a girlfriend or a wife that is taking that role. So I have to accommodate for that. So I have to do what? Pay for housekeepers, pay for meal planners, pay for people to cook for me, pay for people to run errands, personal assistants. All right, all the way up and down the line. I have to hire women for that. I can't wait for my wife to come home and massage me. I got to have a massage therapist. Okay. So I'm not going to get into a relationship so I can get that one massage every month. I'm going to pay a woman to come massage me 2 times a week. You see that? I can't split the income. I got to pay all the money towards the rent and have money for my expenses. That's a price for single people. You're going to pay for that. So when you don't want to have a man or don't want to have a girlfriend, you better make a lot more money, period. That comes with it. Or you're going to minimalize like a motherfucker. But I think minimalizing is a bad strategy. Eventually, you're going to succumb to interest. Now, going back here, the 2 working adults with 2 children, as you can see, it's pretty much double, more than double what 2 working adults need. So as you can see, having a second person does help. But when you add children, there's an additional cost. Nothing's for free. There's no such thing as free any goddamn thing. You have to pay for everything. And you're going to pay. So this is what people are now trying to figure out, why they can't live comfortably off $78,000 a year in a major metropolis. You're single. You chose to be single. Then you also chose to be able to want to go out and dine and go to football games and all that shit. You need money for that. You need money for that. Then if you want to say, I want to be married. Well, guess what you're going to need? You're going to need person with 2 incomes in order to have marriage and children. You can't have a stay-at-home wife anymore. Okay. It just is, and not only that, you can't have a stay-at-home wife and live in the top 25 to 50 cities in America. You can't do that. Stay-at-home wife is not a possibility in this economy. So what happens? You need a stay-at-home wife. You need to be pulling in $500,000 a month in Los Angeles and New York. At least $500,000. Why? Because to compensate for her lack of income coming in. Lack of income. Not only that, you have to save for her retirement, her Social Security, her investment account. Because she's going to have to retire. You're going to retire. She's going to have to retire. What is she going to live off of? What if she divorces you? What is she going to live off of? How's she going to take care of the kids and you divorced her and moved on to the younger woman? How's she going to do with your kids? Because you're the working guy and she wasn't working. $500,000 a year, I should say. $500,000 a year. That's in the major top 5 cities. If you want to stay at home wife in the top 5 cities. Now, here's the thing. You can do it with less. I wouldn't suggest it though. You can do anything for less. I just wouldn't suggest it. Okay, because now you're eventually going to set up the reason why you're going to get divorced. Okay, so eventually that shit is going to hit you over the head. Or you can move to a smaller place, but of course your job industry is not there. This is what I don't understand why people are talking about. Auntie, you chose not to have a man. These women will literally live decades without a man. They might even produce children prior to that, or prior to produce children with these men. They will try to live single all the way until they're in their 70s and 80s and then claim they can't make it. There was never a society, there was never in our society the need for women to make it in their fucking 70s and 80s by themselves. We're never going to have that scenario. And I will just tell you, that's not even a scenario men can have. I don't give a fuck if you make $80,000 a year and you live in a major city, you're about to get drowned. Drowned. You're not going to make it. You're going to minimalize so much. There are going to be so many things that you cannot compensate for. Not to mention the fact that your likelihood of increasing your income significantly as a woman is slim to none. Okay. As an older woman, the likelihood that she'll be able to increase her income is probably slim to none, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, her job skills, whatever she has been trained to do, human resource executive, nurse, has a capacity. It has a capacity. She don't have the education. She doesn't probably have the tools to keep up with what people need in a modern time. More than likely, her skill set can be, AI can compensate for 50% of it. And a younger person will take a lesser salary to do the other 50%. I want you to listen to me. Okay. I want you to listen to me. AI can probably do what she does, 50% of what she does, and a younger person who has less skills will do it for less money than she's making at that job. And the only reason they're paying her for it is either she has experience, she's a go-getter, or they have a loyalty to her. Because if they fire her, they got a lawsuit. This is the type of bitch that'll sue the company and claim she was sexually harassed. So they're looking at it like, all right, let's just keep her on. Let's, she gives us a headache, but she does decent work. Us finding someone probably on her level with their experience is probably slim to none. Although we can find somebody at 34 or 32 that will do it for far less. Okay. Let's just keep her around. So they tend to have a loyalty to these middle management mammies that they'll just keep around and shit and put up with her bullshit and her attitude from here and there. And then they'll just, ride it out and hopefully she quits. All right. Hopefully she quits and then they don't have to deal with it and they could just cut her severance and get the fuck out of there, or they'll just lay her off. So, you know what I mean? They'll just go through layoffs and she'll be the first one cut. She'll be the first one cut. All right. Now, in my opinion, these are choices she's made. And now she's down here hitting 65 and 70 and she ain't got nobody to take care of her. She gonna go in there and say, well, how am I supposed to make rent? She gonna go in there and want a price hike for doing the bare fucking minimum, doing shit that AI and a younger person can do combined. And then she'll want to hike. All right, I'm making 78K when I'm gonna make it to 90. You're gonna get laid the fuck off. All right, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna be on unemployment. Now, this doesn't just go for women, but I just think the system is just rigged towards women the worst, because we just don't have a time where we can facilitate older women being out here surviving by themselves. They're always going to be below what the average needed. And then they're going to blame the system and start voting for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and shit like this. Then they start blaming shit. I guarantee you this bitch got student loan debt that she ain't paid off. And she's 65 and 70. She still got student loans she ain't fucking paid off. You see what I'm talking about? Talking about I ain't paying it. But then wondering why. Again, money karma, what I teach you over on the money mindset. Treat money the way you want money to treat you. Treat money the way you want money to treat you. This bitch probably behind on all her bills, got high interest payments and shit, student loan back from 1978 with no degree to show for it, and so forth and so on. And I'm just making an assumption. Right? Bill collectors calling her motherfucking ass left and right. And she can't stop buying shit off of QVC. She probably got a car. They probably a car breaking down every fucking week, trying to patch that shit off right until the wheels fall off. I'm just letting you know. And she probably got a young nigga over there beating the brakes off of that. You know what I mean? Like, this is how people are choosing to live. Remember, choice. You're choosing to live that way. Then when inflation hits you, let's just get real here. Inflation is always going to be a problem. We're living in hyperinflation. We're going to do this for the next 6 years. It's not changing. It's not changing. The cost of things today are going to continue to go up. We're living through price gouging. I agree with all of that. But just making more money is not going to solve your problem. You have to have the right mental mindset to go forward. People who are just barely making it, are not saving. They don't have any savings. They don't have $500 to $1,000 to their name in this economy. That means you're screwed just on any price increase. These are the new prices. The prices are not going down. They're going up based on my experience living life over 50 years. Everything has gone up. People are like, well, if gas gets lower, that's just gas. Insurance rates are still high. All right. Any of these streaming, all the things that you do are still higher. Just driving the gas price lower are only going to get you to work. You have to change your mindset, your mental fortitude. You have to change the fact that understanding that the choices you've made over a period of decades have gotten you in this situation. So if they just raise the wages, there's just going to be people broke 2 years later. Okay. They're just going to be broke. I've experienced this. I went for jobs where I worked and they gave me a pay raise and I was still broke 6 months later. 6 months later, I was in the exact same situation based on my personal choices. It wasn't the system's fault. I was continuing to make bad decisions and not adjusting my decision making. Now, then I had to say I must sacrifice. That's when I just said I have to sacrifice what I've done thus far and be willing to lose everything that I worked for. All right. And I did that. So I'm moving in my car, giving up on my marriage. Fuck that. This is not serving me. It's going to continue to bury me. Sacrifice. What did I did? I cut back on the things that were preventing me from growing. And I said, I need to reset my life to go forward. Not minimalize my life. Not try to convince my wife to minimalize because that's mission impossible. Not try to get on a Dave Ramsey budget. That's mission impossible. I must reset. Sacrifice something, move to an area where it's going to benefit me versus the area that I'm living in. I started making personal changes in my life. Staying single for 5 years, not having cable for 4. Okay. I started making personal decisions about my life that changed. That's what changed everything. Then I went to self-employment. Then instead of working W-2, that took my earning capacity and doubled and quadrupled it. Then I said, I'm going to put myself out there on social media. Now, this worked for me. It may not work for you, but a lot of people thought that was going to be an L. You're exposing yourself. People are going to do X, Y, and Z. Well, that ended up taking my earning capacity. And from my job that I left, that took my earning capacity way higher, 10, 15, 20 times higher per month. Just on personal choices. Just on lifestyle alone. Okay. And people are not making those choices. People want to continue to make the shitty choices in life and then acting like it's not going to have a negative effect. Anyway, boss up out here. You better boss up, nigga. Same people out here claiming that they can't make it was out there what? Still partying, still smoking, still out here dating. And I'm like, that's the choice you made. Now look at you now. Okay. Anyway, that's why I say, man, people are lying about how they're struggling. They're completely lying. They're misrepresenting the facts and the details. All right. Anyway, let me do these super chats here. We got main event coming up. Sub main event. It's the evil world we live in, and then the main event. Oh, we got our brother Big Boy says, Coach, just got back from a needed vacation with the wife and kids. You went to St. Martin. And it was great. My kids got stamps on their passport, and I got saddled with $8,000 bill. Shout out to you. But it was a great time with family. Time to boss up, fellas, 2026 and beyond. Thanks for all you do. Shout out to Big Boy. Shout out to your family. Glad you got out there and went on a vacation. But, of course, it wasn't free. Shout out to you. Shout out to I Am Paulie says, just showing some love, Coach. I also have both of your books. Big fan from Perth, Australia, mate. Shout out to you. Good day, mate. Good day, mate. Okay, we got Henry Resilient says Adam 22's divorce is a publicity stunt. I actually am I'm actually going to say false on that, but I know what you're saying, but I'm actually going to slightly disagree, and I'm going to tell you why later on in the show. I'm going to slightly disagree, but I know what you're saying. He says Lena filed with no lawyer. They're worth millions. Lena will call off the divorce and drop another Jason Love video. I'm going to tell you where I understand what you're going to say. I know what you're saying is right, but I'm going to slightly twist it. I'm going to twist it a little bit. I'm going to twist it like the joint that y'all be smoking. Shout out to Miles says, okay, I got Miles already. Shout out to Miles C. Big Cheeseroni. I've been teaching myself how to day trade since last December. I never thought I could earn money this easily. Thanks for the inspiration. Those slapping sessions and streams had me scrambling. I don't need a job anymore. I got money. Shout out to you.
I got money.
Shout out to you. That's called choices. Like, people will make choices and pursue a certain thing, whether they do well or not. They made a choice to give it a try. Most people don't give a try. Like, they don't try. Something will pop up and they'll just call it a scam and hope that it fails. And then they'll see people get rich off of it and then sell a course on how to get rich out of it. And they'll continue to say it's a scam. Guys, how many times have you done that? We've all done it. We've all failed to move as the times moved. Now, there are some people who were rewarded and they took the chance right at the beginning. Some people took a chance at the beginning and they failed. But what I'm finding is that people don't want to try. You don't want to try anything. You're just going to be like, well, I'll just stay in this stable job. And then the job marketplace changes. You get fucking moved and priced out. You advance in age and then you get replaced. You thought your industry was going to be around forever. And now you got fucking priced out and moved around and laid off. So people made choices to make take a risk, and they took the risk and you didn't. That's called a choice. You chose that. Please understand, I can make everything back to you. I can trace everything back to you. Okay, what happened when this came up? What happened when this industry came up? What happened when this? Well, then when people try to do it now, I want to get into social media now. I'm like, oh, nigga. Like, hey, look, I'll teach you how to do it. Okay, but I'm gonna have to hold your hand because it's a little bit difficult. It's not what it was in 2018. But you saw people doing it all that time and you didn't move. And then now all of a sudden you want to make that move. And more likely than not, the reason you want to make that move is because you got laid off of your fucking job. I can always trace it back. They'll be like, Coach, man, I'm thinking of getting, okay, yeah, why you getting in it now? Oh, I got laid off my job and I got time on my hand. Okay, nah, bro. That's the wrong mindset, because that means you don't have any bandwidth to fail. You can't ride the wave. You can't go through it with the passion that you need to go through it to be successful. You're only doing it to try to get money from it, which is the wrong approach. You want to build it because you like to do it. I'm passionate. I have an interest in learning. I think if I put in 5 years, it'll be worthy. But y'all trying to get in and make be monetized in 2 months and then making $10,000 a month. Wrong. That's called choice. Wrong. Don't get into it now, because look, there's a lot of people that are even in my group, my friends group, my circle, my family. They ask me now how to get into it. Then they be trying to tell me what to fucking do. I'm like, y'all ain't dropped nan video. Go sit the fuck back. All right. Then they want to tell me how I can get my shit better because they heard a couple of fucking videos. They watch some videos. If you ain't out here dropping the fucking content, you don't know shit. Okay. About shit. But I have a lot of people that will want to get into it. But I told them 4 or 5 years ago. I told them 7 years ago to get into it. When I started making $2,000 a month, I was like, y'all need to do this. Oh, man, I don't remember that. 8 years later, 8 years fucking later, guess what? Now they want to get into it. And I'm like, don't talk to me, motherfucker. Go do it first. Right? Like, dude, you should have been doing it. I did social media when I was my busiest at my personal training, where I had, my schedule was packed. I was doing 6 to 8 sessions a day, waking up at 4:25 a.m., coming back home 11:30, sitting there cutting videos, trying to on shitty equipment, fighting a child support case, fighting the divorce, then going back out at 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock, training people, 50-50 custody. I did it when I was at the top of my fucking game and my schedule was packed. I fit it in. That's what I need you to do. When you're at your top, you're working 45 hours a week and you come in and you fit it in. That's when you need to be building it, not when you get time on your hands and you get laid off and furloughed and nothing else to do when you need income. That's the wrong time to do it. I'm giving y'all too many blue chips. Don't start day trading now and trying to make $1,000 a day because you got laid the fuck off and you want to buy a $4,000 course and then try to get that money back and recoup it. No, that's the wrong time to do it. This is why we talk about this on the money mindset. Okay. People have the wrong mindset of how to survive out here. And when I just shake my head at you, I'm like, bro, y'all so dumb. And I don't feel bad about calling y'all dumb because I'm dumb too. Don't get into it because you need to do it. Get into it because you want to do it and you have an interest in doing it, not because you need to get a quick flip and turn the money on, to turn the money spigot on. Money mindset. I did it because I wanted it and I liked it and I wanted to get it off my chest. Now it turns out to be something that I make money from. But it was because I was busy doing something else. My schedule was packed. I was fucking around with regular women, dating when my kids were at their mama's house, taking care of my kids, coaching their football and soccer teams, running a full personal training, self-employment business, and busting out the videos. Same fucking time. All at once. And I had to figure out what I was going to drop. Dating. I was like, let's get rid of the dating shit. All right, because that's hella distracting with a low return of investment. Let's get rid of that. I couldn't get rid of my kids. Couldn't get rid of my ex-wife. I was like, so that's stationary. That's there. Couldn't get rid of my damn personal training clients. I needed the money. I was like, I'm good. I'm full. My schedule's packed. I can pick my clients. Then I was like, let me fit this YouTube shit in there. Took my income and quadrupled it in fucking 2 years. I was like, well, guess I ain't going to stop this gravy fucking train. I'm going to keep it going. Anyway, I'm going to keep it going. But dudes do this. People do this. I'm going to get into day trading. They do it for 2 weeks and can't stomach it. They do YouTube for 2 fucking weeks, figure out it's a lot of work, and then they be like, well, this is just too much. And they go back to their regular bum ass life collecting unemployment. Okay. Yeah, anyway, too much blue chips here. Too many blue chips, I should say. Tyler, he says, the queef maker popped up in my Facebook feed yesterday talking about narcissistic women, and I thought I was in a Twilight Zone. That young Lily Lentlicker that dumped her ass publicly made that pivot. Believe no hoe, 100%. So now the queef maker out here, Princella, is out here pandering, talking about how women are narcissistic in relationships. And y'all don't realize she a Lily Lentlicker. Some of y'all don't even realize that, but they tried to show me the video like it was fucking brand new. I was like, go sit down somewhere with that. Dude, not only one dude showed it to me, about 3 or 4 dudes showed me Princella's video and said, this will be a great topic. Fuck. Shout out to you, Tyler, with the co-sponsorship. I'm rich, bitch. I'm like, y'all think I'm brand new at this shit? Oh, I'm going to put her up. I instantly recognize her. I was like, that's Princella. Talking shit. All right. Different perspective says you're right. When you don't have leverage, you'll settle with any woman. It affects your mindset. But now that I'm bossing up, I ask, why am I settling for this when I put myself through the grinder and relationships benefit the woman more? He said, why settle for one? It's not normal. That's when you do what? You elevate and get leverage. A lot of guys will not get leverage and say that getting leverage is not worth it. Okay, try it out. I mean, you don't have to try everything and say it's not worth it, but that's one of the things you have to try out. Once you get leverage, you'll look back at the decisions you made relationship-wise and you'll go, what was I doing? Giving up way more than you needed to. Shout out to Brooke says, shout out to Brooke and E-Money live in Rio de Janeiro. I don't know, but the ladies are mid in Rio, but it's free agent lifestyle for life. Shout out to you, man. There's millions of girls in Rio. You'll find the good ones. Go to the 4x4. Go to the 4x4. 3, the Hardaway says, it's been a while since I checked in, but definitely looking at the material for sure. Your video about Cassie fleeing the country had me dying yesterday about the NPCs and the crackheads. Definitely a masterpiece video. Shout out to you. Enjoy. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Key himself says, seeing normie couples out in public and is turning me into a misandrist. When I see the shit that most men settle for, it's hard. Let me see that again. It makes it hard for me to have respect for most men. I can't even have friends who are married at this point. Shout out to you. That's a liability. Yeah, they're liabilities. A lot of guys settling. A lot of men and women settling. And I just won't settle because I worked hard. Now, a lot of guys don't work hard, so they got to take what they can get. But I worked hard, as Three the Hardaway was saying. Why work so hard and settle for less? Why work so hard and settle for less? Like when women start playing that bullshit with me, I just stop. All right, that's enough. I don't have to. I don't have to put up with friction, as they call it. The dating coaches call it friction. When women give you friction and you have no leverage, or you don't have a masculine approach, you put up with friction. And women gonna play games with you, bro. Like you just a motherfucking cat to them and they got a ball of yarn. They fucking with you. And they'll hit you with some bullshit, and then you'll put up with it, and you'll start arguing friction. And like I said, I showed you the first woman that was trying to play with that young dude's head. It's just a game to them, bro. Why don't you believe me? Shut the fuck up, bitch. I don't gotta believe you. Next. Well, you're losing out. I ain't losing out on shit. All right, I got leverage. Somebody wanted me to read their super chat, and it must have been in relationship to the Russell Wilson thing, I'm assuming. But most dudes are settling, and they're lying out here. Guys, I got eyeballs. I see these couples in public. I see what y'all be out here walking around with. Ladies, you too. I see what y'all out here calling y'all girlfriends. I see what you're out here calling success. Right here. I see what you're doing, nigga. Don't act like I ain't got eyeballs and I don't be outside. I see what y'all calling relationships. I see what y'all calling marriages. And I'm just going to tell you one more time. Then I'm going to have to get to the main event pretty soon. A lot of people are lying out here. Now, I'm one of a lot of people. I don't lie too much to y'all. Very little, if any. I try to call it straight down the line. I've lived a long time. I'm not new. I'm not wet behind the ears, nigga. I don't just sit behind this computer all day. I've made it to 50. A lot of people, this includes men and women. They will say they're successful. They would say they're making it. But if you just stop them for a moment on that fucking hamster wheel, they will be cooked. If you just stopped them for a minute and had a tough conversation instead of the NPC conversation and let them open up their fucking mouths, men or women, you're going to find out people are not making it. And I'm going to tell you, it's about 78 to 85% of people are not making it. But they'll tell you, oh, I got a girlfriend, I got my wife, and I got kids, and we go to soccer games and shit like this. Start asking some questions about their finances and how they're making it. They ain't making it. They're up to debt and they're up to their eyeballs. They're holding on to life by a fucking string. A lot of people that are claiming to have a happy marriage got a sad fucking marriage. Because I'm the counselor of all counselors. People seem to open up to me, even in public. They'll start telling me some shit, and I'll be like, oh, damn. Okay, I bumped into a nigga at the gym. He was like, oh, man, I've been gone for a while. I didn't even notice. He was like, oh, man, I had a brain tumor. I was going through chemo, and I got hit in the back of the head at Home Depot by a 2x4 and knocked out 6 of my teeth. I was like, God damn. What? People are going through it. Barely making it, don't got emergency fund, or $1 to their name, nigga. They going day by day, but they'll tell you, well, at least I got love. People out here going crazy. They're not making it, dude. And it only going to take a thing here and thing there to break them. People can get broken, but they out here comfortably going to get scoops of ice cream, acting like they making it. And the dude out here trying to pay for her ice cream, acting like his car ain't fucking fixing the decline. Okay. Like, that's where we at, bro. People are going through it. And acting like they ain't. Somebody acting like this content creator gonna make a video about me like I give a fuck. All right, this nigga ain't been successful at content creation ever in his life. Do I give a fuck about what he about to say, nigga? All right, It is what it is. He got to talk about me, nigga, to get some views. Do I give a fuck? And by the way, you probably him in here trying to tell me about the shit. So go ahead and take a hike. Don't come in here trying to drum up beef for some old niggas that can't get no views and got to put me on their thumbnail. I don't give a fuck. Go give me some views. I don't care. What are you going to say? Some shit that they already done said. He need me on this fucking thumbnail. Look at his fucking views. He probably can't get views without me being on this fucking thumbnail. That was him trying to get in here. That probably was him trying to tell me and announce it. Go sit down. All right, anyway. Oh, my Lord. You see these men distracted? God, like, shout out to Hustle Every Day says, never believe what a woman says because of her emotions. Shout out to you. Been around says, ever since that 21 convention, it's been free agent lifestyle for life. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to Joel says, how is it that we lower our standards for fat bitches and they think that they're still better than you? That pog has nerve. And this is what we have to understand about women. Okay. So if you're doing things to get a certain woman, like lowering your standards, but you're selling her a dream, they're going to believe everything you say because women believe words. Women believe words. Men, we don't believe what women are saying unless they're saying this your pussy and this and that. That's the only thing. But we believe words. Women believe words. So when we're telling them certain things, they take it to heart. They believe that shit. They don't want to believe it, but they believe it. They fall for it, which means in effect, they believe that if you're saying this to her, you're saying it to nobody else, or you're not saying she's the best person you can get. If you're spending all that time, you're spending all that energy and emotion, she believes that that is the best that you can do, and that's how she's going to prioritize you. She's going to be like, oh, this nigga, I can make him do this and do that, do that and do that. And you stick around and she gives you friction. Again, let's go back to friction. If she's giving you friction and you're putting up with it, what is she supposed to think? She's supposed to think, I must be the best he can get. I must be the best that he can get. All right, do me a favor, man. I'm going to go should I jump into the main event here? Let me see here. All right, I got some other stories here. Like that, you know what? I got another video, then I got the main event. But do me a favor, buckle your seatbelt out here. I got to handle some business, but we'll get back to it here in a second.
Money Mindset 2025. Join us if you are looking to elevate your mindset to the next level and get your financial information and game back to where it needs to be. This is the Blue Chip Mindset on steroids. We have 80 plus episodes from the last 2 years that you missed available via playback. You can get all of those episodes. Also, every live stream on Sunday night with all of our great contributors with subjects, cryptocurrency, investment, money 101, money 201. Also, if you're looking to become a social media content creator, this is the group for you. 2 times a month, we give you content creator information about how much money you can make via content creation. What are the most popular forms of content creation coming forward in the next few years, and how you can capitalize on an opportunity to be a content creator. Join patreon.com/Coach Greg Adams to find the Money Mindset link. Let's get our Blue Chip Mindset on. The window is still open.
Money Mindset, boss up.
New world order.
All right, boss up, Money Mindset in the building. Patreon.com/Coach Greg Adams. Get on here, man. Get on that Money Mindset. It's the best thing going out here. All right, look, check this out, man. I got a video, Evil World We Live In, and then the main event, but I got to play this one here. We talked about this yesterday, and I want you to look at these guys out here that you're going to see in this video.
It's an evil world we live in.
I got a young ling right here, a young ling, and a white girl. These are the perfect combinations right here. These young women are about to say something in this video that the men did not have stomach. They did not have stomach for. But we were talking about this yesterday, how Women are doing things with themselves when they're younger, and they're engaging in what we would call very high risk, freaky, kinky behavior. Then they come back, they experience it, but then they're able to turn these relationships with them into what I call normie relationships. But she'll experience this, and then she'll come back to you and want intimacy, emotional connection. What do you think these women are going to talk about? Okay, so we have a young ling. We talked about this yesterday. I've talked about it a lot, but yesterday we spent a little bit of time talking about this. What do you think I'm going to talk about related to this? Okay, listen to this, and then listen to the men, how they respond. Then I'll play it in its entirety, come back and break it down. Okay, so here we go.
What about like peeing?
Are you into that?
A little bit.
Someone peeing on you? No. Has it happened?
Yeah.
Oh. Did you ask?
Yeah.
Are you in bed? Where does it?
No, just in the shower. I just kneel and then they just
wait in your mouth.
No, just like face.
On your face.
And, like...
Oh, I didn't let him do it on my face. No way. He'd always pee on my butt.
You say things so calmly.
Because I think it's normal.
Oh God, it ain't.
What's the craziest?
Okay.
Do you have the stomach?
Do you have the stomach?
To watch a girl that you really love?
Yeah. Do you have the stomach? Okay. Do you have the stomach? Now, I told you about this. I've been telling you about this, that women are nasty. They engage and they explore nasty things. Unlike for men might explore some nasty stuff, but it'll be on the internet. They can very rarely get a woman to do it, especially if he's a young guy and he don't have resources. Women, on the other hand, their late teens, early 20s into their 30s are spent doing the nasty stuff, and then they want intimacy. We live differently. Women don't get nastier as they age. They try to clean it up as they age. So you're going to find that they're going to participate in nastier shit early on because it's going to be offered to them. They don't have to make an investment, but just to be there. Whereas if a guy wants to do this, he has to make an investment. He actually open up and risk his reputation. He has to give the woman to do it and put her on the thing and get the courage to ask her to do it. Like he's without her creeping and freaking out. You see what I mean? Where the woman can get invited to do it. She can have the guy, a guy with resources to actually bring it up. She can have a certain guy that she knows that is just a fuck boy and deal with him, like the previous woman in the video we showed at the beginning. So she'll be introduced to this a lot earlier, and they're more likely to engage in this. Now, both women have engaged in this, and the two men are shocked by this. They're shocked by it, and they're not trying to show and display how they're shocked. But I'm going to say, even if guys wanted to do it, they don't have the access to do it. But these are guys that would have married these women or dated them or some form or fashion. Now, I'm going to say they're dressing up for some reason here. This video was put out 25 weeks ago. Obviously, if you do the math, that was around Thanksgiving. So they're dressed up, it looks like, for Thanksgiving. Okay, so whatever their podcast is, they're definitely they're dressed up for Thanksgiving. So this isn't a new video. But this young woman who, let's just say again, she looks what I would say like she's innocent. Like compared to both of those women, they don't have the big eyelashes. They don't look like a vamp or a tramp. They're not scantily clad. Actually, they're very much covered up. They look normal. But then you see them experimenting this, some even desiring it, but you won't bring that into the relationship with them if you're playing the intimate partner. So let me start here. She says, what is the biggest fetish that you've been involved in? Now, when you hear this, if this conversation comes up, more than likely, the men are going to fumble this conversation. Okay, number one, if she asks you first, do not go first. Okay, let me give you a piece of advice, and I've given this advice. Do not answer this, gentlemen, because what you're going to answer, you're going to take the safe route, number one. Even if you've done some risky shit, let's say you've done some risky shit, you're going to take the safe route and not say weird shit because you're going to be like, well, I'm going to lose her. She looks like she's regular and she don't participate in wild fetishes. Remember I showed you the ling at the end of the show? Yo, I told you, I said, yo, at some particular point, she's going to, she looks like she's a regular ling, but she going. So if you answer first and you take the safe route, then you're not going to have the stomach. If she is open, if she tells you, or if you take the safe route, she might even not tell you the truth, which then is lying by omission. So she's like, damn, you a square. You only had sex on a park bench at night. You know, that was very risky. Some shit like that. I had sex in the changing room at Kohl's. You know, something like this. It's going to be very vanilla. You're not going to say, I dookied on a girl before. I went to Vietnam and I dookied on a woman. You're not going to say no crazy shit like that, even if you did it. But don't answer the question if she asks first. So that's number one. If you ask her first, you better have the stomach if she's open-minded. You better have the stomach. So she asked, what is the freakiest fetish you ever participated in?
Fetish that you were into. What about like peeing?
Are you into that?
A little bit.
All right, so there it is. She said, what about peeing? Are you into that? A little bit. Guys, you better have the stomach.
Do you have the stomach?
You better have the stomach. Because she just opened up that can of worms. She's into it. I want to get pissed on. And she says, ooh, when I like it. She said, ooh, I like it. Now, here's where men mess up. You're literally going to say, oh, she crazy. You wild. How could you do something like that? Don't you feel ashamed? She's gone. Why? Because that's kink shaming. And she going to be like, this dude is a square. He a weirdo. Even though, so she going to say, I said too much. You ain't got the stomach. But she like to get pissed on. And he was like, do you really like that? You were harmed? Oh, no. You can't possibly like something like that. And she does.
Do you have the stomach?
Look at her face. Especially, and lings are very popular for dookying on and getting pissed on. I don't know what it is about a ling. All right, but they typically are going to go. I mean, not all of them, but you can get them to go. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's the witchcraft in them. It's the lack of Christianity in them. I don't know what it is about lings. Lings like to be, they like to get abused and dominated more than anyone.
I like to get dominated.
They're super submissive. And they have to hide their fetish behind innocence. Right? And white women are the next ones. Now, when you go to Latina and black women, they tend to not be open to that shit, only with thug niggas. Like, they're not going to be completely open to shit like that. They'll be like, nigga, don't grab my neck, nigga, nigga. You know, they tend to, and Latina women going to be like, oh, Poppy, you know, try to talk herself out of it. You better be the only one I'm doing this with, Poppy. Like, they're going to talk you out of it. But lings and white women, they're going to be over on this shit. They're highly fetishized. They have to hide. In their culture, they have to hide this. They have to come out innocent with an angel. They have to come out innocent at the end of the day. They're going to preserve and protect their innocence. So look at her face. She says, I like it. Let's see what the white woman says here.
Someone peeing on you? No.
So look at the cucks. Look at the beta brads. Can't handle it. Although beta brad would love to piss on a woman, he just don't have the courage to bring the shit up. He just ain't never been in a position to do so. So look at how the beta, and guys, when you do this, your chances of pissing on her has went away, because this is judgment. This is shaming. And guys will be like, we need to bring back shame. Well, guess what? That ain't going to stop her from getting pissed on by the next guy. That's what we have to understand. She going to get pissed on by somebody else, just not you. Okay. You out of the piss. You out of the running to piss on her. Now, you might want to piss on her, but you don't ran out the running. So that's what happens to normal guys out here. We need to bring back shame. Red pill talking point. That's not going to stop them from selling puss. That's not going to stop them from out there getting pissed on or dookied on. All right, let's continue.
Oh, has it happened?
Has it happened? Yes. Look at her. Yes, daddy. It has happened. A lot.
Yeah.
Oh, you ask?
See that? Oh, look at the reactions.
Ask?
Yeah.
Did you ask for them to piss on you? Yes. So he has now disarmed her of being a victim of this. And he can't believe it. You asked to be pissed on? Like, what type of woman has to be pissed on? What's wrong with you? Fatherless activity. No, some women are like this. Father or no father. We got to stop taking what the red pill simps have done and the manosphere has engaged in is Captain Save-A-Ho. You're going to find an excuse why the woman doing it. What I've tried to teach you is that women doing it under their own volition. They're choosing to do this. Everything goes back to choice. in your mind, since you're a square and a lame, you can't imagine a woman would choose to do this. You're going to act like she's forced to do it. When I'm telling you, they're doing it by choice. You're going to be like, well, there's fathers and fathers are needed. They're going to act like because she had a dad, she don't want to get pissed on. Guys, women with fathers suck dick. Women with fathers have sex. Women with fathers have sex with multiple men. Women with fathers have sex before marriage. Women with fathers get pissed on. So red pill and manosphere Mitches try to find an excuse as to why the woman doing it instead of saying she does it because she's a woman. That's what women do. Your daughter gonna suck a dick, guaranteed. Your daughter gonna get fucked. She might get the Eiffel Tower or train ran on her. She might take it up the Duke shoot. Your daughter, nigga. What do you think? She ain't gonna take it up the Duke shoot because you're a dad? Because you were in her life, she ain't gonna get fucked from behind? Yes, she is. I can guarantee she will. I can 100% guarantee it's gonna happen. Well, I raised her right. Don't matter. Don't matter. She's still a woman. In fact, raising her right means she's probably right. More gonna want to get pissed on. All right, but anyway, as you can see, she's smiling. She's like, I like it.
Are you in bed? Where does it?
No.
Where does it happen?
No, just in the shower.
In the shower. That's where I mostly have done it, just so you guys know. In the shower, because that's the best way to do it.
Just kneel and then just
wait in your mouth.
No, just like face.
On your face.
Yeah, on your face. Yes, try. She's actually literally telling the truth. Face, chest, and shit like that. And the white girl said, "In your mouth." That's where the white. That's where the white girl jumped in. Oh wait, I draw a line at the mouth. I'm not gonna drink it. Let's see what the white girl says here.
Oh, I didn't let him do it on my face.
I didn't let him do it on my face. There's your future wives, guys. I didn't let him do it on my face. So you got two women, both plain Janes, both women that you probably wouldn't have suspected of doing something like this. They did it with somebody. See? When you have these people out here, these women be like, here, you didn't bust in my mouth. Next time, bust in my face. I want it in my eyeballs. I want to make snot bubbles with it. I want to blow bubbles with it. That's what women do. That's what they do. They might act like they don't do it, but they do it. They're going to do it before they marry your goofy ass. This is why y'all getting married late. This is what you're signing up for. They done already done this shit. A variety of versions of this shit. Oh, not on my face, though.
No way. You'd always pee on my butt.
Only on my butt. And look at what the guys are doing. Look at what the guys are doing. What?
You think so calmly.
You say things so calmly. Why? Because they've done it a lot of times. Not only have they done it, they fantasize about being done to them a bunch of times. So it's normal to them. And he's like, ladies, girls, you're saying this so calmly. Because they've done it so much, it's not abnormal behavior to them. The ling especially, but the white girl and these guys are losing it. What? Huh? How could you?
Do you have the stomach?
You're saying it like it's so normal. It is normal to them. It's not normal to you. You don't got the stomach.
Because I think it's normal.
There it is. I think it's normal. It's normal. All my boyfriends do it. It's not just one. It wasn't just a Ray Ray or a Thug. I have all my boyfriends do it.
Oh God, it ain't.
What's the craziest fetish that you were into? What about like?
Oh, interesting, isn't it? I was just talking about this and somebody shared this video with me. But it's a cold, evil world out there. This is some of these women now, how they have boyfriends that do this shit to them. All right. I had another video related to that. I think we're running out of time. We're getting a little shorter here. Let's see here. See if I can pull this up and share it. Dudes out here mad. And my girl has never done something like that. Okie dokie. Ladies, where y'all at? Y'all quiet. The ladies are quiet. They're like, coach, man, just don't show when I've done it. All right, because I ain't done it. Okay, let's see here. I want to see if I can find this video real briefly and quickly to see if it can back up what I'm trying to tell you. And the natural submissive relationship between men and women, men have to explore this. They have to explore this, or else you're just gonna be out here looking crazy as hell, trying to defend or shame women and back into their behavior. All right, let's see if I can find this ish. Ooh, when I like it. Let's see what we're doing. Damn, can't find the shit. I had it too. Is it up in here? Up in here? Up in here. Let me see if I can find it over here. I might be able to find the shit. All right, what are we doing? I got to scroll down here because I want to show you this real quick. That's not it. Here we go. It's an Instagram reel. See this. It's an Instagram reel. Here it is right here. Put her in her place. Take a look at what's happening there. There's the choke, the press against the wall. You're going to see a little bit of degrading there. There's the playful slap, and look at her face. This is why women say they're in abusive relationships. I can't really believe them all the time. And this has been pointed out. I showed you a woman claim this happened to her, and she claimed the NBA player did it, but she then retracted it, and it was just a part of their sexual relationship. But she was saying that he did it, and she just moved the incident to an abuse incident. All right, this happened with a WNBA player and an NBA player. It highly affected his situation, but there it is right there. It doesn't mean this hurts or anything. But a lot of women submissively, they like to be degraded. All right, they'll ask for this. They'll ask you to punch them and slap them and choke them and dominate them. Now, you do have to know where the line is, because there's a thin line between this and domestic violence. All right, and this is why they typically deal with certain type of guys. This is why they ask for certain type of guys. I need him to be taller and bigger and threatening and physically imposing, and then he can pick me up and put me in my place. Even if I say no, he'll tell me yes. Like this is the sickness behind dealing with women. This is the sickness that you're dealing with. Because when women challenge you, it's not that they're challenging you to make you a bit. They're challenging you to see how you're going to come back at them. This is where the energy comes in. So they're challenging you to see what you're going to do and how you're going to deal with it. Now, over time, watch with Adam 22. Over time, if you're not handling like a man, then she'll emotionally divorce you. She'll disconnect you. She'll be like, this guy don't stand up for himself. He ain't got a backbone. That doesn't mean she leaves the marriage right away. That doesn't mean she breaks up with you right away. She'll still be around you. She'll just know you're a doormat. And then her pussy won't get wet for you. Then she'll go desire the sneaky link. And then she'll get what she's getting back from you. Safety, security, whatever that is, protection. This is what men have to understand. So I'm not telling you to participate in this. What I'm telling you is you really can't win whatever position you take. Because if you're the pooky, eventually one of these are going to turn into a domestic violence case. Just depends on if you're drinking or smoking weed. Okay. So when women do these things, they want these desires, and you participate in it, eventually, it may come back to haunt you. It could, not always. It could. But if it doesn't, that means you're the one giving that energy all the time. You got to manage her. You got to control her. You got to put her in her place. You got to tell her, bitch, don't say that. You got to do. This is all things that require energy. And she will do this all day. All day. All day. And she gonna give you some wet punani. Punani gonna be wet and leaking. She gonna do the nastiest shit to you. That's how how she's gonna reward that. Thanks, daddy, for putting me in my place. And she will get up there and do the nastiest shit to you. Now, I mean, that's a return of investment. But if she's not doing nasty things to you, then you're the doormat, which means in effect, we're going to get into the main event talking about this situation here. The doormat, that is Adam 22. Okay, we got the main event. All right, ecclesiastically the main event, which that is not the right topic right here. We'll just go ahead and delete that and call it the main event. All right, we got the main event here, and this is a bad main event. Adam 22, not a surprise. His wife has filed for divorce, according to the blogs and the internet. We know these guys, Adam 22 and Lena the plug. They are scammers. They're grifters, if you will, if you want to go with that. They're always looking for attention. And she has filed for divorce without an attorney, which anybody can do, especially in the state of California. All you need is $500 plus, and you can do this without an attorney. Now, just because you do it without an attorney doesn't mean you cannot hire an attorney after the fact. All right. Because when me and my wife filed for divorce, we didn't have an attorney, but eventually she hired an attorney. Okay. So just because you don't file with an attorney doesn't mean that it's a fake divorce. Okay. It could mean it's possible, but you're going into the state to get your state involved. So there's steps that you have to take to file a divorce. I mean, yeah, these people are scumbags, so they could do this as a sense of getting some attention and being talked about, but it's still a legit divorce filing. Okay, so it's still legit. All right, we didn't have an attorney for the first probably 9 months of our divorce, me and my ex. There was no attorney. We had a mediator. All right, and sometimes you can file without a divorce if indeed you agree on what the payout is. All right, we already worked everything out. It's amicable. We don't need an attorney. So you don't need an attorney to file a divorce. And in this case, she doesn't have one. But it says Lena the plug files for divorce from Adam 22. We know, I think he also has a lawsuit coming his way, potentially. So he might be trying to clear the deck officially to divorce her, get her out of the way, or she divorce him before the lawsuit comes down. And she wants to get her bag and run. Let me take my money off the top. And it says right here, Lena the plug is pulling the plug on the marriage from Adam 22. TMZ has learned she filed for divorce in Los Angeles County without a lawyer on June 1st, a few days ago, which happens to be on her birthday. There it is right there, her birthday. And wants legal and physical custody of 5-year-old daughter. Yeah, when you get into the situation here, to call it like a scam or a publicity stunt, and you're talking about legal and physical custody of a child, that's kind of taking it too far in terms of a publicity stunt. But I do have an interesting twist on the publicity stunt here. And this is according to Divorce Docs. So if we want to call anything a publicity stunt, based on what I know about these individuals, I could say this whole marriage is a publicity stunt. All right, based on what I know. I think if anything's a publicity stunt, it's the marriage itself, not the divorce. Okay, the marriage itself is a stunt. And I can kind of look at it here. I'm going to try to explain that. For those who don't know, this couple who has a very successful podcast and OF account, which always makes for a very unique relationship. They shoot prawn content with people outside of their marriage, together and individually, and interview these people on their podcast. Adam also hosts his popular No Jumper podcast without her. In my opinion here, No Jumper podcast has died a miserable death. It's going to be hard for it to be recovered. His grift was to interview a lot of minorities and black people and talk about gang culture and ridiculous relationship content that I never was attracted to. I think Adam 22 is more or less clueless. He probably is too involved in drugs to realize where he is in this situation. So in my opinion there, his podcast is kind of on his last leg, whether intentionally or unintentionally. I did happen to see some content that he had filmed because it was a talk of the town. I did not see his wife getting fucked by Jason Love. I didn't see that. But because they were talking about it, there's some leaked OnlyFans content was on a Reddit board, and he was having sex at the time with multiple women. The women in the video that I saw him with, it was a shower scene. He was having sex with 1 or 2 women in that video. That wasn't his wife. Sometimes people forget that aspect of Adam 22 is that both of them were content creators doing prawn. She was doing prawn prior to Adam 22. Prior. A lot of people don't know that. I can't show you the proof, but I looked it up. I didn't see her having sex on any videos, but I had to look that up. So it wasn't like he was married to a regular chick and then he slutted her out. She was already in the industry prior to Adam 22 marrying her. Yes. So that's why I say the relationship itself was a scam or a publicity stunt. Before we even get to this marriage and calling this marriage and divorce of sort, the divorce a publicity stunt, I'm telling you the whole marriage was a publicity stunt. Could they have had feelings for each other? Yes. But before she did the scene with Jason Love, he was sleeping with other women on video on his OnlyFans. He was sleeping with other women openly. Now, the problem that people had is that they were married and she wanted to sleep with men on her account. But she was already doing prom with men prior to the marriage. She was doing prom with women prior to the scene she did with Jason Love during the marriage. So at that point, it was already off the rails. The whole relationship was a goddamn grift at that point, even though they produced a child. So the last domino to fall was the scene with the guy, which he was preventing her from doing. He said, we can be married, but you can only do prom with other women. She was already openly doing prom before with other men before the marriage and with women during the marriage. So for then the people to act like he was doing something excessive after that, I don't agree. I was like, that literally was that was par for the course. Okay, that was par for the course. And people don't talk about that very much. They only talk about what she did with that one man, acting like she was an innocent wife. She was not an innocent wife. She was already in the industry prior. And I'm going to go ahead and show you this real quick. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and show you. It says right here. And this is just AI, but you know, I did a little bit more research. Yes, Lena the Plug, and this is her last name that she's always kept. She's never kept. She didn't change her name to Adam 22's name because she is Armenian, and there's the SIAN, and Adam 22 is a U. And it says right here, she established her career in adult entertainment industry years before her marriage. Years before her marriage. So she was already an industry girl. And she had already more than likely did industry dick before the marriage. I mean, does that help? Does that help you any bit? Does that help you? So people acting like this was a wife that decided to get blacked by BBC just out of the blue, and he just buckled. Where Adam 22 buckled is that he had a guideline in his marriage saying you can do adult content, but not with men. And then he changed his stance based on whatever the situation was, the economics, the pressure, and so forth and so on. And I'm going to tell you that, let's see, even I can go back here. What probably happened is that the marriage was already over at the point. Okay. The reason why I'm going to say that is the child is 5. The incident happened when the child was 3, I believe, or 2 years old. She had the one kid in what I call a sham marriage. The marriage was a publicity stunt. It was a sham. The love was already gone, and certainly gone by the first child. This follows the marriage wheel because she was only invested in order to get to at least one child. She got the one child, and she probably emotionally divorced him at that point before she took Jason Love's dick. Whether Adam 22 is aware of this or not, this marriage was over, especially when he allowed her to do it. It was over. It was a wrap, and he knows this. That's why he was like, go ahead and do it, and let's just go get at the chicken bag. But my point of this whole thing that people are missing, and he probably knew this, he might not have known it, but the way people are talking about it is they don't know. But in this situation, this follows the marriage wheel. This is why he did not stop it, because he already knew what time it was. This marriage is over. It was just a matter of time before they pulled the trigger. Let me go ahead and show you this real quick. So when people were saying other people were trying to talk him out of it, he was like, what's the point? The marriage is done. We probably are not on the same page anymore. She's going back to the streets. She's going back to what she knows. Let's just make a bag off of it. All right. Let me show you this real quick. What an emotional divorce is. Okay. An emotional divorce. An emotional divorce happens when a person mentally and emotionally detaches from their partner, even if they still live together. There's no set timeline on how long a woman can stay in a relationship after this shift. The duration varies widely depending on individual circumstances, which the circumstances were she was going to get slutted out. They were going to try to make some money, and then that be the end of it. So that was the circumstance, and that allowed her to stay longer. And then it says ranging from a few months to several years. This is how I look at their relationship. There was an emotional divorce. What is the other circumstance? Children. A woman might remain in the relationship long enough after emotional disconnection for several practical and emotional reasons. Number one, children. Let's go back. Was there a child involved? Yes. The child, I believe, is about 5 years old, according to this source. Right there, 5-year-old daughter. What do we know about kids? Their toughest years to raise the kid is the first 5 years. Right? That is a tough time period. The kid is needy. You have to watch them 24/7. You can't hire babysitters. They're not in school all day. You got to feed them. They're with you 24/7. Once a kid gets about 5 or 6, now you can put them in school half the day. The woman gets her freedom. She gets to move around a little bit without considering whether the kid's going to be safely at school for at least 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day. She now gets her freedom. She doesn't need him around as much. He doesn't need her around as much. So now that the kid is moving into the next self-supported nature, the woman gets a little bit more freedom, and then she doesn't need him around. That's why then the emotional divorce goes into a literal divorce. Okay. Now you can just cut bait and be like, I don't need this person around anymore. I don't need the other person. Let me go ahead and show you the next reasons why an emotional divorce can end up to a literal divorce. It says right here, so children is one thing that can leave the connection, physical connection there. Children and family. Many women delay a physical split to provide a stable environment for the kid, avoiding the disruptions of a household division or custody battles. Maybe the kid's still breastfeeding at 1 or 2. Now at 5 and 6, there's no need for that. Then it says financial practicality, high living costs, and often requires partners to cohabitate until they can afford to live independently. In my viewpoint, although they're both claiming to be broke, and I think that's for legal reasons, now they can live independently. They can have custody exchanges. Now they can physically live separately based on the finances, based on the circumstances. Remember, the emotional divorce is going to turn physical, and the duration is going to be there because of individual circumstances. Now the circumstances change. All right, I can live alone. I can make my own money. I can have him keep the kid half the time, and half the time I can be in these streets making more money. Now Lena, the plug, can make her own money. She doesn't have to babysit her kid all day. She doesn't have to wait for Anna 22 to come home and then her go make her own money. She can literally get 50. Well, she's trying to keep custody, but that's for other reasons. What about this? Safety and codependency, which we're not going to talk about, and the grieving process. Staying can be a strategic choice for stability, but an extended limbo state can prolong the emotional distress and stagnation for both individuals. Okay. Here we go right here. Let's go to the next piece of evidence here. Well, I'm going to say the whole thing literally was done. What did I say? The marriage is planned before the divorce. The divorce is planned before the marriage. Okay. An emotional divorce. An emotional divorce is the silent internal process of letting go of a marriage before the legal separation takes place. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. When Lena decided to go and challenge Adam 22 to be involved in this situation, this was her emotionally divorcing her, Adam 22, and moving on. Adam 22 might have already known that. Yeah, okay, this shit over anyway. We ain't even on the same page anyway. What now? I think that he could have just cut bait right there, but he didn't, because maybe financially he knew he was going to get screwed. So she went for humiliation. One thing that I tell you, gentlemen, unfortunately, when it comes to relationships and marriage in our country, women have to act like they're the victim when they're leaving a marriage. Even though they're the cause of the marriage imploding, they have to make it like it's a rescue scene. Helicopter coming in, she was abused, you're controlling her, you're imprisoning her, you're hiding money from her, you're financially abusing her, and you're not letting her be her, you're controlling and insecure, you're jealous. This is what she's doing. And she set this shit up for a few years. Now she's going to say she forced me to hop on his dick for money when it was all her choice. But by the time we see this, the marriage was already over. People are saying they're going to get divorced because of this. But in my opinion, they were already divorced. Lena already divorced him when he agreed to this. It was already over. Now, Adam, what married people typically don't do is they don't say this. Now, I'm pretty sure Adam 22, and based on what he's posting, he's been waiting for this day. He's been waiting for her to go. He's been like, bitch, just leave. He couldn't pull the plug on it because then, he would have been up to have to pay the piper. But he was already waiting for her to go. Like I said, he was already having sex with other women already in the relationship. And there's proof of that. He was already fucking other women at the time. Okay, and he had continued to do so on his OnlyFans account. So he was already having sex with other women. Now he can openly do it and he can go crazy, but I'm just going to say he probably can't handle it based on possible alleged past issues with substance abuse and whatnot. He probably not going to handle it very well. He's going to go crazy. All right, but he was already having sex with other women already. He's just going to openly be able to do it without being held to this marriage standard that people have and assuming everybody's marriage is the same. The marriage is not the same. She was already in the industry. He was already in the industry. He was already fucking other women. She was already linking other women. This was just the last straw to humiliate him leaving the marriage. Because a woman has to make herself to be the victim. So she has to shit on him. And he had to take it. Yeah. And he had to play the role like everything was all right. Like he was cool with it. But I guarantee you, he really wasn't cool with it the whole time. He wasn't cool with it. He just had to go ahead and put up with it so this bitch could leave. And it says it is a character. It is an emotional divorce is characterized by several emotional detachments. An emotional divorce has several severe emotional detachments where a partner completely withdraws, viewing the other more like a roommate than a life partner. By the way, I'm the only one that can do this shit like this. And this is going to make sense if you look at it from this way. If you men keep looking at it as emotional and he's a cuck, and I'm telling you, it's more than that. It's not just that simple. He was a cuck. He wanted to see his wife fucked at the end of the day. Now, it wasn't. This was a typical marriage that just went left very relatively quickly because both of them are unhealthy. Both of them are unhealthy. They didn't need to be married in the first place. But, the manosphere guys, they're just going to be like, he was a cook and he got what he deserved. The shit was over already. It was already an emotional divorce. So it says right here, the grieving process, the person pulls away, usually completes the stage of grief, moving through denial, anger, and depression while living at home. And it says right here, effectively finalizing the emotional end of the relationship on their own. So it takes a while. It goes through stages. People don't just divorce overnight. People just don't divorce overnight. It takes stages. They were already going through the stages where it was clearly over. They were just doing it publicly. And they were doing it for the money. Then it says establishing boundaries. If you find yourself in this situation, it's critical to set strong emotional and physical boundaries to protect your well-being and ease the pain of the transition. That clearly didn't happen. She emotionally divorced him after the kid. She was ready to move on, going back to making the bag. By the way, OnlyFans had been very popular at the time where he was preventing her from going to get that bag. And she was like, hey, I got to go get that bag. And he was like, nah. She emotionally divorced him. She's like, bro, it's either I get the bag or not. He was like, all right, you got to do what you got to do. It was already over. There was another guy that did this. And the guy name is, I want to say it's not Mr. Beast, but he does like dating content. Now he's married to a woman. I know she's pregnant with a kid, and I know she delivered a child. I haven't seen them in years, but I did a piece of content on them because before I was a content creator, he was very popular. And he built this content on like the physical personal training, staying in shape. You know, he wasn't Red Pill or Manosphere, but he was adjacent to it. So people will probably see him. He would talk about dating advice and shit like this. During COVID, he was married to this woman, or at least engaged. She literally brought up if she should do OnlyFans. Okay. And I talked about this back then. And I said, this is an example of what I'm talking about, where the woman kind of gives you that, hey, I'm going to do this. If you don't let me do it, it's over. But if I do it, you're going to get humiliated and you're going to have to deal with your wife being on OnlyFans. But they had a video where they considered it. Now, I don't know if she eventually went on to do it, but she was like, my friends are doing it. They're making X amount of dollars. Let's bring this to the table. When I tell you, young people are going to have this conversation, especially if both people are prone to be celebrities or social media personalities, the woman's going to look to explore that bag. In this situation, I think Lena did the same thing. She's like, damn. It's 2022, Adam 2022. There's a bag out there, but you're preventing me from getting it. I need to go get that. My friends are doing it. I'm allowing you to have sex with other women. I need to get blacked. We need to go after that bag. And he had to make a choice. Handed him the scissors. You make the choice. Either choice is wrong for Adam 22. He can't win in either choice. As we say many times, you can't win. Wait, wrong sound effect. You can't win. Both choices are bad.
You can't win.
Somebody said OnlyFans is oversaturated. At that point, it was not. In 2022, it was not oversaturated. And they already had the fan base. At 2022, 2021, it was not saturated. And I guarantee you, she brought that conversation up multiple times. It wasn't just once. It probably was so constant that he probably was like, go ahead and do it. He was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do we go get that bag? And she was like, it's going to be fine. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. She was already checked out. In fact, she probably was already checked out to the point where she was going to do it anyway. He had to agree to it. Not that he had to, but it was going to end up the same anyway. Okay. So he had to go ahead and do it. And he was still having sex with multiple women anyway. So he was like, whatever. And if it leads to a divorce, it leads to a divorce. During that time, Adam 22 has claimed several times that he's broke. Right? And people have wondered why he's been saying this. Why has he been saying he's broke? Number one reason is I think he had a lawsuit. Number two, he knew this was coming. Now, he ain't the brightest fucking bulb in the whole fucking shop. He ain't the sharpest tool in the goddamn toolbox. But I guarantee you he knew this was coming. Why? Because this was the last fucking straw. He knew it was coming. So he probably moved that money around and kept control of that money and so forth and so on because he knew this woman was fixing to divorce him. And he know he about to come off out that chicken bag, meaning that he about to pay that child support. Somebody said she was already arguing about money. Yep. This is destined to happen. And I think where he lost leverage is, again, men stay for the children. Men stay for the facade and the image. Men stay for that. They will do everything. Men will get humiliated in the middle of a marriage and divorce, getting blamed for being the bad guy. And he didn't do himself any good deeds because he was at an OnlyFans account too. So she got enough evidence of him having sex with multiple women as well. So he like, bro, this is it's bound to happen. He took the humiliation route. And a lot of men, Jewish and white men, take the humiliation route. Black men tend to not get married in the first place. But secondly, they tend to not want to get humiliated as longer. So he figured out over time, since this is coming down the pike and she ain't paying attention to the money, all right, let's move that money over here. Okay, so let me give you the rest of the details. For those who don't know, we got the couple here. That being said, in the docs, Lena said she doesn't have a job. We can prove that false already. She says she doesn't have a job. Women typically put that in their divorce filing. When I could go to her social media account, she has not, let me see here. I see Snapchat. I see, let's see here. She has 2.9 million followers on Instagram. I'm going to click this link here live. I hope you guys can't see this. No, you can't see it. Okay. Her job is blowjob. All right. I'm trying to click the link to her story because it says click here, but it's not taking me to that outside link, maybe because I'm on a live stream, but she does have an OnlyFans account. She has an OnlyFans account. Stop. This is bullshit. So she is earning money from it. Whether she sees the money or not, I don't know. And her only income is $3,000 a month spousal support from Adam, which Adam knows, again, that this marriage is over. I'll be ventured to say they've been probably separated for a long time. All right, so they probably have lived apart, and she just filed for the divorce. I'm pretty sure I would be shocked if she just launched it on him while she still lived with him. So if she's saying he's been paying spousal support, this is actually a smart thing to do by giving her money to support her when she separates, because that way, when they officially get divorced, they don't retroactively give him a large amount for separation. Now, whether that's the amount he should be paying, we don't know. Because if he has hidden the money and he's been waiting for this to happen and he's been funding her, but there's supposed to be more, that's going to be retroactive as well. But she's only claiming that he only gives her $3,000 a month, which in divorce filings is just a filing. It doesn't tell us anything. You don't have to be truthful in your filings. People, men and women, lie all the time on their divorce filings. What could be happening is he's probably paying for her separate place, which she doesn't factor in. So if he's paying rent and put her up and bought a house, or she's still maintaining the house and he's moved out, that also should count as support, but she might not be counting that. Okay, she's going the way of the $3K. But he probably still paying her rent, lifestyle, Sephora, whatever it is, even keeping her website and her OnlyFans going and collecting money that way. Okay, of course, she's a very successful creator on OnlyFans, but in the doc, she makes it seem like she had no control over the revenue, saying, I have no access to any financial resources in this marriage and or actual financial information. So all amounts entered are estimates. This is the negative about being a provider. So women say they want a provider, but then when they pull the plug, they act like they're the victim of financial abuse. This is another catch-22. So a woman typically will say something like this: I don't have to worry about anything. My husband takes care of everything. He takes care of me. When we go out and we travel, I don't have to think. He has all the plans. He makes an itinerary. He pays all the bills. He uses his credit card. I can just enjoy it. Fa la 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 la. And meanwhile, he's doing all this work. Well, when you get a divorce, she's going to reframe that into, I don't have information. He doesn't give me information about the money. He's financially abusive. He won't tell me. He's hiding the money. This is her simply just reframing, again, the catch-22, Adam 22. In the divorce filing, she might be lying about this to play the victim. Again, they got to play the victim on the way out. Sometimes they have to humiliate you and play the victim, in which she's done both. But she's just trying to play the victim in the situation. In my opinion, he married a whore and a skeezer, and she's doing exactly what hoes and skeezers do. So she said, I don't have any information in this marriage. I have no access to any financial resources. He takes all the OnlyFans money. He is hitting it off over here. Now we got to find it. Then it says, she also says they have a $1.1 million entertainment studio, which I'm assuming is the No Jumper podcast studio, which he's been sued for, and he's trying to hide the fact that he can't afford that anymore. Okay. And she wants half of that in the divorce. This is not a surprise. Guys, when Adam 22 is guilty of a lot of things. Certainly being a cuck, a degenerate, probably an alcoholic or a drug addict, allegedly. All right, being an idiot, marrying an industry whore. I mean, you could go down the line and show he's not very intelligent. People call him a culture vulture. I'm not going to stand up here and stick up for Adam 22 at all. What I'm telling you is to look at this differently. This was not an overnight decision that was made by Lena. This was a series of events that Adam 22 was probably fully aware of. He just couldn't tell you. Now he'll be able to tell you, yeah, the marriage was over. It was an emotional divorce. He'll be able to tell you that. I was in the catch-22. She was a hoe anyway. I'm actually free to fuck who I want. Okay. She wants half of that. Then it says they got married back in 2023, which was 3 years ago. So they had the child before the marriage. And in the doc, she listed the date of separation as April 15th, which was 2 months ago, less than 2 months ago. Now, there he is right there. Man, I don't even know if I could show this on the internet. But people that are acting like this was a traditional wife that he turned out is crazy to me. It's crazy. So they're calling him, guys, this was an industry woman. That being said, they're still about making the money. On Tuesday, they co-posted a promo pitch from the new episode of a podcast, which you just saw on the screen that I had to take down. And it says, and Lena liked it and commented on the said post. They've reached out to Lena and Adam, and there's been no comment about this. But yeah, man, that's my synopsis on that. She was an industry girl. He married an adult film star. He did not turn her out. She had already taken dick on film. Okay, she had already taken dick on film. He had already been having sex with multiple women during the marriage. For people to say he allowed her to do this and to destroy the marriage, I say false. It's somewhat true. I believe the marriage was over already, and he couldn't say so. Because men typically can't do that. Men typically can't come out ahead of the situation and say it. So he chose to get humiliated. Okay. Okay. He chose to say, let's let her do the deed. Let's let her do the deed and then just go ahead and take a look at the body language here. I can tell you they probably have not been sexually, what do they call it? Emotionally, sexually for a long time, years. Look how he leaning in. White boys have to do shit like this. White guys have to do shit like this. They have to fake it for I don't know what the reason is, but yeah, they have to fake it like this. If you don't know, yeah, they haven't had intimacy for a long time. I mean, look at the body language here. This is just for ecclesiastics. This is all performative. He leaning in, his waist is away from her. This is not how you hug your wife. This is not how you hug your wife. They're completely detached from each other. A lot of white dudes got to take their girls to Jamaica and get violated by Dexter and them to keep hold of the facade that is the family life and the marriage. That seems to be what men want to hold on to, is the facade, and they'll hold on to it as long as possible until they can't hold on to it anymore. And Jason is probably still smashing that and was probably still smashing that on the side based on, I'm looking right here. All right. They also seem to be together in multiple places. All right. I don't know if this is AI, but Lena and Jason, that marriage, that relationship probably continued multiple times. And is it not true that she also they had a reality show They had a reality show of them selecting another young man to have sex with her. In fact, one of my JUCOs who did OnlyFans had sex with the same guy, which was funny because she sent me the video and said, I know this guy. And that put 2 and 2 together. And I was like, oh, really? Well, the guy they selected, even a girl here in Las Vegas, had OnlyFans content with the same guy. All right. So the world is small like a motherfucker. But the guy they picked, I guess they had sex in the same room. I don't know. I didn't see it. I had no idea. I did not see the video. But some people talk to me about that happened. All right. And I don't know if I can show you this, but here we go right there. Yes, your girl is going. Do you have the stomach? Do you have the stomach?
Do you have the stomach to watch a girl that you really love? To watch some motherfucker that got more money than you, that's more handsome than you, that's built more better than you, fuck your bitch for a fee? Anybody can fuck my bitch if the price is right. She happy to go get it.
Now, this thing happens even without it being on videotape. So a lot of people do this in their marriage and it's not even talked about. It's not on video. They go to Aruba, they go to Jamaica, and they get this done. They go to the hedonistic hotels and spots, and men are getting this done to their wives, and they go back to the suburban enclave and communities and country clubs, knowing that Dexter fucking the shit out of their 45 and 50-year-old wife. 100%. In the white communities, this is normal behavior. Let me reframe that just so we can say this. In the white community, for older couples that have been married and have kids, this is normal behavior. Not for young white couples. Young white couples are somewhat different. All right, they're going to grow into this later on because white people in America need the facade of marriage. They need that. They need that. They need the facade. They can't just be out here getting divorced great because the guy going to end up with nothing. So white dudes will put up with this shit. In fact, most of the time they're going to do the Diddy shit. They're going to do that. If you look up the cuckolding versus hot wifing, this is definitely a lot of white people doing this. All right. And they go to the Caribbean to get this done. They stay that what they typically don't do. Now they'll have their sex parties and their orgies and they'll bring in the Black Bulls and the Enrique Bulls. Okay. They'll bring those guys in and let the personal trainer fuck and pass it on to the wife, and the white dude, either a gay, bisexual guy, or he has his girlfriends too. But white people engage in this. So this should not be a shock for people like Adam 22. They're just living it out in public. But white people overwhelmingly engage in shit like this. All right. Just look. I mean, it's available for you to see. It's available to you to see. White women definitely get this treatment because, typically white men may not be well endowed. That's a rumor, but that's not always true. They also lose interest in their wives long time ago. A lot of white dudes are bisexual and use the wife as a beard. A lot of white dudes be cheating on their wives for 15 years while she's staying at home. And then she'll eventually become 45 and horny. Okay. 55 and horny. And these Dexter niggas be fucking the shit out of these 55 and 60-year-old women. Getting nutted on and the husband sitting in the room. This is too common against the white culture. So this is not a surprise to me. The black culture typically doesn't participate in this like this. Typically, they don't do it openly. It is very rare for a black guy to be Diddy in a situation. Black guy typically rests his self-esteem on performing well with women. So they typically aren't going to do this unless he's down low or bisexual himself. All right. Anyway, enough about that before this shit goes left. Oh, by the way, Asian men as well participate in this a lot. All right. Especially over in Asian countries. Japan, very popular for Japanese men to even offer their wives to their friends, to the people who they care for and trust. Here's my wife as a concession. Older Japanese women, older Asian women, they'll go because affairs are differently over there. They treat affairs differently. In some Far East Asian countries, affairs are a little bit reframed differently than America. So they will be like, they know cheating is there. It's somewhat ever present. So The man has already been cheating. The man has a wife, and that doesn't mean that's his only intimate partner. The wife knows he'd be fucking the secretary, and he got a sugar baby over here that he supports, especially if they're well off. The wife's like, good, go fuck somebody else because I don't need you fucking on me all the time. The wife then, as she ages and gets more open about her sexuality, the husband will be like, go see him. As long as I know him, go see him on your off night. Go have your little sugar, be a sugar mama. Okay. And so they're so focused on getting the bag. The guy can just focus on having his side girl and his sugar baby and his wife. And that's more than enough. More than enough. But in America, we treat, we're still more, I would say, Christian based in our approaches to relationships, that it messes up the relationship in itself. Now, I wouldn't agree with my wife being around like this. I'm just not the type of guy that wants to share my wife. However, my approach is I would rather be polyamorous or polygynous than to be with one Christian wife. So I'm somewhat extreme as well, where I can be like, I can be with as many women as I can afford and still have one main woman. If a woman wants to play that role, fair. But it's hard to find a woman that wants to play that role. So that's what makes it difficult. Could I get an Asian woman to play that role? Yes. Right. I probably could go to Asia and have a woman play that role. Whereas in America, we're still kind of Christian based in our approach, and we find these things ridiculous. Oh, this is ridiculous. When in fact, even in America, it's common. This is what I want men to wrestle with here. And a lot of times it's the young men who are outraged by this. Unfortunately, I'm here to tell you, your outrage is not valid. Your manosphere talking point is not valid. Your needing to prove Adam 22 is an idiot and a cuck is not valid, because we could just go and look at everybody's relationships, especially white, suburban, upper middle class, elite suburban couples. This is very common. Then when you talk about how African people participate in multiple wives, then when you talk about how Asian men in the Far East give their wives to their friends, then when you go to Indian men who don't even fuck their wives, they're in arranged marriages and they got boyfriends and girlfriends. So it's a tough scenario. I get your outrage. You're calling him a degenerate and he's getting what he deserves. Shit was over anyway. That's my point in the conversation. He was just going to get humiliated, and that's because he's a degenerate. He was willing to get humiliated, and I think it was for the money. But did he change culture? Did he expose something that wasn't never there? I don't think so. What he was doing is quite normal. Jewish people in New York, do you guys know what they do? You don't even want to know what they do. Jewish people in New York, they got a wife and they put 5 kids in her, and they be fucking women right downstairs with the wife and kids upstairs. They don't care about your Western approach to relationships and marriage. And I find it funny that a lot of guys that are outraged by him actually out here with multiple women too. Like, then y'all marrying women that got kids by other men and then acting like that's different. In my opinion, if you marry a woman that has kids by multiple men or at least another man, you participated in some sort of polygyny, polyamory, or cucketry. That's just my opinion. That's if you marry a woman that has kids by multiple other men. You participated in some level of cuckery or polygyny or polyamory. You are not monogamous. You have participated in lowering yourself to the bottom of the fucking barrel like Adam 22. It's not different to me, but that's just me. There's no difference. That's the same bullshit to me. But of course, if they convince you that you're doing the right thing, oh, you doing the right thing under God and Christ. Okay. All right. You want to roll with that to make yourself feel better. All right. Shout out to Roderick Miller. He says, why I respect CGA, work ethic, no excuse. Not at all. And he says, women will share a man's stick instead of his wallet. Yes, they will. Openly, they will do it. Shout out to you. That's a co-sponsorship. We're already in poly relationships. People don't want to admit it, though. They don't want to admit it. You guys still think you're doing monogamy. And I can tell you, you're doing nowhere close to any monogamy whatsoever. None of us are practicing monogamy. None. Very few of us. If you have more than 5 sexual partners prior to your marriage, you're not monogamous. You could go kick fucking rocks. People want to change the definition of what they're doing for moral reasons. The morality police are weird. These dudes are out here. I saw a dating coach talk about why prostitution is immoral. Man, y'all shouldn't pay for women. It's immoral. Every other video of him is approaching multiple women. He talks about fucking multiple women and hooking up. But as soon as it comes to paying for some pussy, man, the Bible talks about it. They speak about it as an immorality. The Bible also speaks about fucking multiple random women too. How the hell you jumping up on your high horse? That's what kills me about people, bro. How y'all can be complete hypocrites. Now, one thing you can't say about me is being a hypocrite. I'm not a hypocrite, man. I tell you what it is. You either like it or motherfucking not. But I'm not a hypocrite. These niggas will talk about pimping and macking these hoes and then jump up here mad about some dude getting his white pussy split in half. Same shit. It's the same shit. You a pimp, right? That's what you want your hoe to do. You be sitting in the parking lot. You be sitting in the motel room bathroom listening to your girlfriend get fucked. But now all of a sudden, Adam 22 is a degenerate. The hypocrisy, my G. The hypocrisy is outrageous. How the hell you can be pro pimping, but anti Adam 22 pimping his wife out? That's hypocrisy. Adam 22 pimped his wife out for money on the OnlyFans bag. You say you're going to pimp some hoes and get some money right out of her punani. Adam 22 kept all the money. Like, bro, that's the... When I tell you pimping is cuckery, is cuckoldry, people think I'm exaggerating, but that's what he did. He pimped his wife out. And kept the money legally. She said, he kept all the money from me. Isn't that pimping? Wouldn't that be pimping instead of cuckoldry? Or am I tripping? Oh, no, man, you tripping, coach. He literally got his wife, clapped her cheeks, and kept the money. That's called pimping. Anyway, he had the stomach. Sugar-free. He had the stomach. They called him a degenerate.
Do you have the stomach?
All right, come on, man. Come on, bro. Shout out to KP says, Coach, your funniest line was, you're a loser if you're not a trick, nor a provider, nor a simp. He says, you're below them, Asperger ass ninjas. He says, I fell on the floor. Dudes be like, I'm not a pimp, simp, or a provider. That means you're a loser, nigga. Right? That means you're a loser, nigga. That means you're a nobody. All right? I don't want you to pick a lane, but nigga, bragging about doing nothing is never something that you want to brag about. I do nothing. I'll do neither of those. That means you a bum. All right? That's where you are. All right? I don't like bum ass niggas. All right? So anyway. He said, I'm speaking to the short bus audience. Yeah, they're not ready for this information. Shout out to our brother, no government name. Adam 22 was doomed from the start. He hadn't openly admitted to his first sexual encounter with her was a train with old co-host plus, I don't know what that says, was overall a partnership where they were 50-50. He has admitted that she makes more money than him, plus Jason Love, and one of many. I mean, that whole thing is chopped the fuck up. I don't even know where to start with that, but I'll just try to pick out of that. He openly admitted their first sexual encounter was a train. All right, as I said, she was an industry girl to begin with. And I think people are not framing that properly. They're acting like that this was his wife and they were in a monogamous relationship. And then she ended up jumping out there. I'm disagreeing with that. That's not true. She been up 304 since the beginning. She been at 304 since the beginning. They first met in a train session. So he had already been seeing her having sex. So where's the line there? The line's already that she's been performing that act. Anyway. Now, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have my wife out here doing it. But I guess if you married an OnlyFans girl and that's what she does, that's what she does. Okay, we got some people over here on the Ko-Fi. Shout out to you guys. It's refreshing and it's not moving fast here. What do I got to do? I got an appointment. But I also, like I said, dude, like if my wife was like, a CGA, you can have, like if I had a wife and she said you could openly fuck other women in front of me, I would be doing it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not that much of a moral police here. I would definitely be doing it. I'd be like, all right, honey. Now people would think I would be a degenerate at that point. Nikolai Volkov says, thank you for the education. I know Adam is a dummy. However, Adam should have got a paternity test on that kid, just saying free agent lifestyle for life. Well, we don't know if he did get a paternity test, but he does need to get a DNA test on that baby, especially since they had the child, it looks like, before the marriage. Yeah, based on my math, he definitely need a DNA test on that baby. Maybe he got one already. Maybe the baby ain't his. And that's why he's like, hey, what else can go wrong? Go for it. Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of too late for him to get a DNA test now, though, because he's already assumed parental privileges. Let's see here. Q the exec says one thing that we were leaving out. Adam has the stomach. He says Jason smashed his wife and beat him up in a boxing ring. She probably didn't respect him anymore after that. Why did he marry her in the first place? F your uncle. I think we can go back and realize a bunch of things here. Number one, okay, by the way, Nikolai Volkov, Nikolai Vista, we do need to acknowledge that he sponsored today's show. So sorry for that. I'm rich, bitch. Thank you, Nikolai. A couple things about men. And let's go back to Adam 22. Adam 22 was a porn star. We keep leaving that part out. Let's go back. Listen, and I've seen it for myself. I reluctantly, because I was doing a story on him and it popped up. You can't avoid it. I saw him in the shower with multiple women during his marriage. So let's go back. This guy was openly sleeping with multiple women, raw. He was raw dogging them on video on his OnlyFans. So let's not forget that. Okay, you gotta add that to the conversation. Because to look like he was just getting taken advantage of and he was a good old boy and he was a regular degular is wrong. He was out there piping down multiple women during the marriage. That was Lena's beef with him. And so I'm looking at it as, okay, so he was in the industry sleeping with multiple women. Now, you guys are going to say, well, that doesn't mean his wife can, but let's just back it up. He was a male performer. He was doing that. He was doing it. So I saw it in Live and Living Color. So that reframed how I saw it. I was like, oh, shit, he piping out multiple women raw? Okay, that's interesting. Now I see why she wants to do this. Now, to go back, let's reframe it. Lena was not an innocent girl. She was a porn star already. She was already in the industry. When I consider those two things and I look at them, as most people don't know this, you think that this is just some geeky guy on No Jumper and then his wife just humiliated him. That is a bad way to look at it. That is not a proper way to look at it. Now, you might then say, why did they get married? Well, let's just go back. Both of them are adult film stars. Who's going to marry them? Who's going to marry Adam 22? Who's going to create a kid by Adam 22 when he out here busting nuts raw and multiple women? He has limited ability to find a regular marital partner outside the industry. Go back. Who's going to marry Lena? She's in the industry. Who's going to marry her but a Adam 22? So you got to look at it and go, this was a match made in hell. Did he fall in love with Lena? I would probably say not, because it would just assume that he's not sexually proficient when he's out here fucking multiple women on a regular basis. He did not fall in love with her like that. I just looked at it as, like I said, the marriage is much of a sham and a publicity stunt than the divorce is. They didn't have any choice. He was like, okay, this one wants to have my kid. This one's to marry. So I don't look at either one of them as a moral person enough to actually look at it as this guy would never let another dude fuck his wife. I think he held on as long as he could until he couldn't hold on anymore. And she went right back to what she was doing before she met him. So the whole situation is a publicity stunt, not just the divorce, not just him saying he's broke, not just the sex between Jason Black. She was doing that already. He was doing that already. Somebody said he can be in love and still fuck multiple women. Exactly. Again, but who did he marry? A porn star. He didn't marry a regular woman. He had already seen her getting fucked. Y'all putting too much emotion into this. You're putting way too much emotional and thought into this. You're acting like this is the fucking president of the United States. These are two porn stars. And you're acting like they're supposed to uphold some sort of esteem about marriage. And I think you guys are bizarre. The manosphere I can prove is a bunch of inexperienced, emotional men putting too much emphasis on people you should not put emphasis on to try to prove your point about God knows what. Okay. You're doing too much. Niggas are doing too much. These are two adult film industry people. Y'all talking about he fell in love with her. He fell head over heels. I probably think not. I think it would make sense business-wise. Did he like her a lot? Yes. But did he fall in love with her like he fell in love with someone? No, absolutely not. When did No Jumper podcast come out? Y'all putting too much thought into this shit of these two fucking degenerate losers. Like, this is crazy. Look at what this was. This was for two people. Because look, two porn stars could want to get married. Two porn stars can want to get married. A male porn star could want to get married. A female. But are they going to find a regular person to marry? Probably not. Neither one of them could find a regular person to marry and still do what they were doing. Let's add that. Could they find two people to marry and still be fucking multiple men and women on screen? No. A regular person, a normie, wouldn't put up with that. When you're married, they would have asked Adam 22 or Lena to put away the sexual performance. So they were match made in hell. Match made in hell. Easy peasy. But y'all acting like he fell in love with her and he got cucked. I don't think so. I disagree. Based on what I'm knowing now, I disagree. The kid will grow up with more mental. Y'all brothers. Y'all doing too much. Do y'all really care about the fucking kid? Let's be honest. Do y'all really feel sorry for the kid? This shows the lack of experience. Y'all worried about this fucking kid or not? Do y'all care? You're not going to think about this fucking kid tomorrow. I can guarantee you. You don't care about the fucking kid. What you want is to uphold your moral standard. And I'm going to prove this right. I actually know a kid in this position. You don't care about these kids. You don't care about her. Fuck that kid. You don't care about her. Let's be honest. You're trying to uphold a moral standard for no fucking reason at all. Let me tell you something. A lot of porn stars have kids. I know a woman that was a porn star and had a kid. And that kid was like, what? I knew the kid when the kid was like 12 or 13. And did his life become affected by his mom being a porn star? A well-known one too. Yep. It had an effect on them. What did the mom do? Move the kid from to and fro all over the place. They ran from it. But in today's world, there are going to be a lot of kids like that. A lot of kids are like that. They're kids in worse situations than their mom was a porn star. Lots of kids. Look at Daphne Joy and 50 Cent kid. Do you care about the fucking kid? Matter of fact, nobody's talking about Daphne Joy and 50 Cent's kid being harmed mentally. Nobody gives a fuck, do they? Right? So stop with the moral high ground shit because it makes you guys look emotional when you guys don't give a fuck. Stop acting like you care when you don't. You don't care about this kid at the end of the fucking day. You're not going to donate to that kid. You're not going to call CPS. None of you niggas are going to donate to this kid and try to get this kid moved to a good, healthy, stable situation. If you did, you guys are going to be busy because there's a lot of OnlyFans women out here with kids. There's a lot of women. You're going to be busy than a motherfucker. So what I'm saying is the manosphere got this moral high ground shit that they're trying to prove, and it's ridiculous at this point. It's so damn disgusting of how you guys are treating this. It's disgusting. You're reframing the shit to fit your narrative. When you got two porn stars that have kids, they got it. This happen every day, B. Shit happen every day, B. Do y'all give a fuck? No. You're trying to uphold a moral high ground, a moral standard about relationships that don't exist. It doesn't exist. It does not exist. It only exists in your world because that's how you make relationships successful for you. But the rest of the world has moved on. The rest of the world has moved on, and you niggas are stuck ecclesiastically in the 50s and 80s trying to make the shit work. Yeah, Larsa Pippen got kids out here. Has this stopped these hoes? No. Nope. The manosphere, guys, you lost the battle. The shit is over. Shit ain't coming back. The manosphere has lost the battle. The red pill, you guys are lost. Because you guys are the Captain Save-A-Holes of humanity at this point. Oh, man, the kids. And what about the women and the children? And this shit is over, nigga. It's a wrap. These people are not going to stop doing what they're doing because you want to take the shit back to ecclesiastically and you act like you care about these fucking kids. You don't. You don't. It's over. We moved on. The whole only people who ain't moved on is you motherfucking manosphere niggas. Meanwhile, everybody out here fucking and sharing. Fucking and getting chucked. They out here fucking and having kids. They out here fucking and falling in love with porn stars and shit like this and divorcing. Oh, man. He said people can't fall in love at the job. Like I said, y'all niggas out here, look, men are in love, women are. Look at how much of these dumbass niggas in the chat talking about love. I want you to look at some of these dumbass niggas in the chat, literally falling for men are in love, women are in business. But y'all dumbass niggas still stuck on love. Y'all some dumb ass niggas. Y'all can't, they're stuck. These manosphere niggas are stuck. What about love and love and love? Men are in love, women are in business. Have we not proved this? Lena the Plug was in business. Adam 22 was in love. Men are in love, women are in business. These dumbass niggas, man, are stuck. I'm tired of these niggas, for real, bro. They stuck. What about the kids? What about morality in our society? Adam 22 is a degenerate, leading society down into a Adam 22 fucked up marriage for everybody, really? Adam 22 fucked up marriage for society. I'll wait. Adam 22 fucked up marriage for men. Is that what he did? Is that what y'all resting on? You sound like idiots. You guys sound like goofballs. You sound like bitter, angry men. You sound like incels. Adam 22 destroyed marriage. Because he let his wife get fucked by a black guy. Are we going with that? Is that what y'all going with? Well, I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn. I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn. You guys are dumb at this point. Talking this shit. And content creators are selling you this shit too. They selling you this shit. I didn't even know who Adam 22 really was until this incident because I never watched No Jumper. I can literally vouch on that. I've never watched it. And y'all literally upset about this nigga. Got tattoos all on his neck. He ruined it. Shout out to Mark M. Says, I had a client and his wife say they moved the Negro male friend of the family into the house to help the bed and basement bound husband. That's what you said. You helped the bed and basement bound husband. He was authorized to clap the wife, and the wife also had a tryst to meet her needs. Negro male is now passed, but the house has murals of him. Guys, white couples are notorious for this, guys. White couples are notorious for sharing their wives. Because let's be frank, a lot of white couples are arranged marriages. Just as much as Adam 22 and Lena's marriage was arranged, a lot of white couples, especially upper middle class couples, are in arranged marriages. I can prove this. They're not in loving marriages. Do they love each other? Did they fall in love? Yes, but that love is gone like a motherfucker, and they're still together. So love is not the thing. He fell in love with her and head over heels. And no. White couples typically marry for business arrangements, meaning that they select each other for a certain bit of standards that have more to do with business than love. I'll give you an example. Anybody ever watched the show Dallas back in the day? Y'all might be too young for this, but soap operas, nighttime soap operas were a thing. There was a show called Dallas, but I'm going to just frame it as, think of the Dallas family, the Ewings. The Ewings were an upper class family that the dad, which was Jock, leveled the family up, and they became powerful people in oil. And then the kids were raised on this ranch, all right, which means they were kind of sheltered and, trained to pass on the family business type shit. When any of the boys brought a bitch that was below the family over, they would call it, where did you get her, from the other side of the tracks. So J.R. Ewing married a skeezer named Sue Ellen. Sue Ellen was never welcomed in the family. She was just a kind of a drunkard skeezer that J.R. dragged in from the other side of the tracks. When that happens in those families, they don't accept the other wife. They might even write the other son out the will, because you got to marry someone on that level or above. When you marry someone below that, for love reasons, that's not enough for the family. They be like, nah, that ain't enough. That's not enough. You're going to have to marry her. What side of the tracks are she from? Where did she go? Is she a debutante? Did she go to SMU? Where did she go? Was this a sorority, right? That's arranged marriage at that point. Love is out the fucking window, because J.R. Love, Skeezer, Sue Ellen. They never accept the Sue Ellen as one of their own. They might write J.R. out of the will. But that's indicative of upper middle class families. So that's why they engage in cuckery, because it's about the legacy. Granny and grandpa want to take a picture with all the grandkids and the families, because that's what white people care about. Not white people anymore, but white people in the past cared about legacy, where grandma and grandpa sitting in the chair and all the fucking son and daughters and son-in-laws and daughter-in-laws and the offspring. So they got a fucking big ass picture with 89 people in it. That's what they care about. Love ain't in the fucking equation. So when you look at these marriages, love is being gone. Love been died. Even if they were in love initially, the maintenance of that marriage has nothing to do with love. Okay. And that's where men get mad, because the only way they can control a relationship is through love. Okay. And when there's no love there, they feel like, well, what else is there? There's a lot more. But dudes lose the plot. There's a lot more that you can get. Let me see if I can pull up the picture of what I'm talking about here, where they called it a clan. That's called a clan, where you have one motherfucking two patriarchs in the clan in the picture. So let me show you this. This is an example of what people pass on through marriage and relationship. Love is not the answer. This is an example right here, where you got the You got the patriarch right here, the matriarch, because dad is dead. And then you got husband, wife, wife, husband. This is what they do. We've lost this plot in America a long time ago. Like, this is the upper echelons of white people and family. All right. Husband, wife, matriarch, patriarch, husband, wife. Everybody gets married off. Everybody has a family, and we won. All right. We got a stable house. Meanwhile, there's all kind of infighting and bullshit. All right. Look, this is what white people like. They like this shit. And they'll even have a rug or some sort of representation of this in their house. Where they'll have the matriarch, patriarch, and they'll do the whole fucking family tree. But there'll be marriage and divorce and infidelity and people dragged across the opposite side of the track. All right. This is what legacy and family is about. It's not being in love and being perfect. It's about image. White people take these pictures all the time. Look at us. We're so happy. They go to Kmart or fucking JCPenney's and take the fucking picture. Now, show me black families like this. Black families still stuck on love and all of this old bullshit that don't keep families together. Because once the love is over, the whole marriage is over. Yeah. It's just the image. But they're still, dude, how many affairs did J.R. Ewing have? How many affairs did Sue Ellen have? I know you young people don't know what I'm talking about, but there are affairs and infidelities and divorce and breakup and abuse all in these fucking family pictures. Okay. But what is more important is not the love, it's the legacy. See, I had a family and he married his girl and she married that one and he. Who loves each other? And that's a TV show. I cringe to use a TV show as an example, but I actually was married into a family like that. So I know, my ex-wife, not shitting on her family is like that. They get together. We would get together in the summer. We would get together one time and we had to take the picture. All right. And I was the one person in the picture that looked like I didn't belong in that motherfucker. All right, but they got all the grandkids and they got them all dressed in the flowery fucking dresses for the girls, and they had the boys fucking in the slacks and then they had the mom and the dad, the matriarch, the patriarch sitting in the picture, all surrounded by all the siblings that married off with the son-in-laws and the daughter-in-laws and all the kids, and I'm in the picture with my black ass. All right. That's what they cared about, nigga. They don't care about if y'all fucking or in love and all that shit. And then when the picture is over, guess what? Nobody gives a fuck about nobody else, and nobody's asking about love and if y'all still fucking, and nobody cares. Nobody cares about none of that shit. They just want you to keep up with the images. Keep up with the images. Shout out to supporter says, you're right, coach. This is nothing new. I even heard that soldiers during World War II were allegedly wife swapping so that their wives could have a man if one of them didn't make it back out. Woo! Woo! Ecclesiastics. So much for Ecclesiastics. But I'm just trying to get these men straight out here. I just trying to get y'all straight because y'all act like y'all care and you don't. Don't act like you care. And this is no longer, I can't consider the manosphere a place of morality anymore because you guys are immoral in just about every other aspect of your life. So how the hell y'all the picture of morality? Jada Terrible, that Pookie doesn't understand. Most women don't act emotionally like that anymore. He says he should take her to the gym for a year and get her fitness right. And if he chooses to not to stay with her, trust these dudes in the gym don't mind digging her guts out and replacing him. Yes, guys, if you're with a fat woman and you want to get her in shape and you're going to say, well, there's something down the line if you get in shape, but you're still having sex with her, she will not lose weight. All right, sex validates women. So if you're still penetrating them, they're going to assume that she's still worthy, so she will not lose weight. All right, you would see this, in fact, with married couples. The wife doesn't lose weight until she loses the fucking husband. As long as the husband penetrates her, she still stays fat. All right, so. All right, Agent Machine says coverage of Adam 22 debacle explains the low-level anxiety I feel hearing normies talk about relationships. The dynamics you are highlighting impacts every man. Currently, men have no way to stop this. Boss up or sit down. There's no other option. That's what I'm trying to present. Adam 22 is something I wouldn't celebrate, but what I'm telling you is he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. He had no choice in the matter. Why? Because once you attach legally to a woman, she can do whatever she wants. Once you legally marry a woman, you got to let this shit play out or pay the price. He decided to let it play out. And the reason why is he didn't hide the money yet. Okay. Now, this is me jumping to conclusions, but I'm just using my knowledge. He didn't hide the money yet. The money was still funny. So that if he would have said, bitch, nah, man, you F him, I'm divorcing you. She runs off with the $15 million. And it's right there documented. So yeah, but like, okay, I see where this is going. Now he can act broke. Can he act like his career? He can literally sabotage his podcast. He can look at it and say, we're not making the same money no more. You know, my business is down. We getting sued. And then he can put the money offshore out in the Cayman Islands. Yep. Put it in crypto. He can use it, bet it all on fucking the Patriots winning the Super Bowl and lose it and go, oh, damn. And that's the end of it. So that's how I look at it. That's how I look at what happened. He was like, I can't stop this shit. But if he would have pulled the plug 2 years ago, 3 years ago, what? That was his peak income. That's his peak income. That's his peak income. And she was going to fuck the dude regardless. All right. So he couldn't do nothing. He was stuck. That's what happens when you get married. You're stuck. Shout out to STV says Paul Elam and his host gave you a big shout out on your podcast. First episode series, hour and 27 minutes. Check it out. Although he's in a long-term relationship like Aaron Clary, he said he's critical of the manosphere. He says you both should consider a collab. Thanks for everything you do. Cheers. Shout out to Paul Elam, a legend in this space. Yeah, I definitely would love to collab with him and talk. That would be a person I like to sit down with because he took a lot of bullets and arrows to keep the space what it is today. 100%. So I think I got everybody. All right. I don't know what to tell you there. All right. I don't think, let's just say everything I say about what he did with his money is alleged. That's Adam 22. So I don't know if he actually did that, but it actually would make sense if he did it. All right. Anyway, shout out to the Coach Gang. Hit the like button on the way out, and we'll be back tomorrow. Peace. And you're in the Desert Storm bunker with Hollywood CGA.
Yeah. Legends ain't born, they built from the grind. From benches to banners, we sharpen the mind. We sharpen the sword and promise and swore that we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Hey, yeah, we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Hey, yeah, we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Legends ain't born, they built from the grind. From benches to banners, we sharpen the mind. We sharpen the sword and promise and swore that we going hard and leaving it all on the floor.
Vibe blowing at the J, got the loud jumping at the pay. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is got the Benz jumping at the bay. Vibe blowing at my J, got the loud jumping at the pay. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is whoa, wait, hey. Got the bands jumping out the bag. Another milestone, look at that. Paper boy, I'm a paper route till I'm 6 down on my back. I'm an old soul like my dad. My old girl still a fan. And yo girl at the live show, so don't act like I ain't the man. I'm kicking my feet up, get frank like Aretha. I'm calm, but I'm teed up, just flip me a stack. The Rio just doubled up off of the muscle, I stuck to the task. They see me, I'm troubled, I'm bubbling up till it's stuck, and they want me to stay where I'm at. I'm good everywhere that I'm stepping, my presence is crucial. You know that this shit I don't trend. On a big wave, I'm controlling the tide. Snake eyes when you rolling the dice. So with the stakes inside, I could never take another nigga advice. They can't reach the sky, I'm aiming up high. I just wanna know what it's like. Y'all know what it's like, I come from outside of this. Out the quicksand, I'm the big man, doing big things. Couple big change, up a state lines, doing stage dives on cam. It ain't no limit to my vision. Check the temp, I'm on fire with it. Got the bands jumping out the bag, Prosecco on ice. I'm nobody nice. Gonna run up a check, demand my respect. I'm doing the most, I never quit. They want me to quit. I'm good as it come, I'm good as it gets. Vibe blowing at the jack, got the loud jumping out the bag. Everything I'm on slap. Everything I do is